I got you. Let it rap real quick. Look. The city eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, when tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls if you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times two. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than an avalanche, way above average. Fish taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java, come on, man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Quad, telling me how the crackers turn this child into a ghost town. Poker stop, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas, we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen prophets under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirt in Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo, spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Round with Yara down, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence,
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my houses.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles are making it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog.
Shalom Israel, Yabashir Shabbat Thumb. To the brothers, Yashma Thumb, Bashim Yashai to the sisters. Priest Officer Parak to my right is Priest Officer 5000 Apayak. We holding down the Feast of Purim for the Most High. Get that a hand. All right. Oh, damn right. Look at, hold on. He made a grand entrance. God damn. This brother came in looking like a true Gadite. I damn near want to turn the camera around. This is what we talking about.
Turn around. Let's see that nigga.
Damn near got a. Hold on. Let's see. I can't even start the class.
That's why
He's
he
still in the
show
show.
up late.
He's still in the
right
show.
here.
Look. There you
that
go.
reason.
There
Look
you
at this
go.
nigga,
Damn
man.
right. Get out of hand, man. Hey, get out of hand. Damn
Nigga.
right. That's perfect.
He ain't gonna walk off like he
And he ain't gonna walk off like he ain't never come in here. But once again, man, this is the Feast of Purim. All right. You know, in the Hebrew Purim. All right. This is a civil day. This is not a high holy day, but this is definitely a day that the Most High saw fit for us to observe. You understand? We're gonna do something today that we've been doing for years, which is observe this day called the Feast of Purim. Now, this feast, it embodies, you know, the spirit of us continuing this truth and keeping on the path that our forefathers have brought for us. You understand? Maybe we might want to put that somewhere where it's not going to be hit by the fan. I don't know.
No, that's why. I mean,
good?
as long as you,
Why do you be getting
it.
smoked out and shit?
Why? I don't like this.
Excuse my
That's
language,
why I
like, right? So
no, it's why. Yeah,
Yeah, it's good, it's good.
Yeah, it's gonna blow on this nigga. You like
Anyway, you can't get us up
You
here
like
and teach
it,
a
though.
class. God damn it, man. Anyway, so once again, the Feast of Purim, we're going to go into the book of Esther, and we're going to read about the history of Esther. All right, Esther was a righteous sister who had a righteous leader, which was her uncle Mordecai, or Maradaki in the Hebrew. All right, and this brother raised up such a righteous sister that she was able to persuade the king that had us in captivity at the time, King Ahasuerus, to release us from that captivity, and not only release us, but stop one of his advisors from destroying all of us. They was going to put a $200 million hit on us. That was what was about to happen. And this sister was so righteous, which shows you, like, everybody said, what do they say about the UPK? Oh, we like hate women. We beat our women.
right.
You know, all of those things. And the truth of the matter is, we love our women more than the Christians, more than the Muslims, because the Muslims tell you can't beat your wife. That's in their Quran. So Surah 4:34 tells you can beat your wife. That's in the Quran. In the Bible, it tells you to love your wife as yourself. And it also has books like this, which is what we're going to read tonight, the book of Esther, which is talking about a righteous sister, a whole book in this Bible dedicated to a righteous sister. So we're going to talk about it tonight. So if I get somebody to read book of Esther, try to get through damn near the whole thing. I know this is a 2-day feast. So today and tomorrow, we're going to be going over this thing. So we're going to start off in the chapter 1 and verse 1.
I'm saying hey, Shalom says, put it here. Hey, Shalom. The book of Esther, I said to all sisters out there, the book of Esther, more than any other book in the Bible, right? Specifically for sisters, you'll see what made Esther so great. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying you'll see why today Esther's dead and gone, all right.
Okay.
But we still remember her today. What tribe was Esther? What tribe was that again?
Yeah, I think she
Was she Benjamite?
I think she.
Man, most like right. Hey, one time for the Wolves, man. One time for the Wolves.
Like
You know what I'm saying, but Salaki, I'm saying she's dead and gone, but you see, we're still talking about her today.
Right.
So her legacy still stands, right?
Right.
I'm saying, but you'll see what made Esther so great.
That's right.
That's what you're gonna find out today.
Right.
Go ahead. You want to?
You got it?
You want
I can read it. It's whatever. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You got it? Just
Go
make
ahead.
sure you might even want to cut that down a little bit. Just speak up for the mic.
Or just come right here. In fact, fed this right here. You take this. Salaki, if you can.
He wants
Be
this
careful.
computer away from him.
I don't like it. I don't like it next to me.
Benjamin don't like technology.
I don't like to niggas looking at this stuff. Be careful when
Be careful
pull
for the
over.
oil. Yeah, you too. Just make sure that we still getting feedback from the microphone and the camera still on.
Hey, let me see this book right here. This shit coming from here.
Got it from up there.
Nigga, that's what
I took notes on it in class the other day. Yeah.
Hey. Okay, like crazy. Like,
Is the camera still on? The
no,
microphone still
I'll
registering?
take my book, man.
I know.
I'm just pressing the camera back on right now.
Oh, it's jammed up.
Yeah, just moved it.
Yeah, it's good though.
Yeah,
It's good
back
now.
on.
All right, no sweat. So we're gonna read Esther, chapter 1 and verse 1,
Okay.
right after Nehemiah, right after Chronicles.
The book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus,
Mm-hmm.
this is the Ahasuerus that reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 107 and 20 provinces.
So now this king reigned over many provinces. This from India all the way to Ethiopia. This king was a king that was of mighty power. A lot of power this man had. All right, King Ahasuerus was somebody you can read in history books. You can verify the same thing we're talking about in the Bible. You can go into the history books and you can read this king was mighty. All right, keep that in your mind as we go throughout this story. Right, go ahead.
Verse 2. That in those days, when King Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
which was in Shushan,
Mm-hmm.
the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast
Mm-hmm.
unto all his princes and his servants.
So now he made a feast. He declared a wide feast, a big feast for all of his servants. Go ahead.
The power of Persia and Media,
Uh-huh.
the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him.
So now this tells you that this is in the time of what? The Persians and the Medes. All right. If you know anything about the history of the Persians and the Medes, they oppressed us just the same way the Assyrians, the Babylonians, and America is oppressing us today. It's the same thing. All right. So now this is at that time, and this king is appointing a feast, which if a king appoints a feast, especially if you go back into these times, it's a big deal. It's not just like, oh yeah, come over to my crib, let's barbecue. It's like, no, the world stops so we can have this feast.
It's kind of like today, like a holiday today.
Right.
We call it High Holy Day. You know what I'm saying? So he's making a declaration, like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Verse 4. When he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom in the honor of his excellent majesty
Uh-huh.
many days, even in 180 days.
So this is not no small event. We're talking about an event that's going to last some time. And what is he doing? What is he spending this time doing? He's showing how great and how powerful he is. He's showing all of the beautiful things that he's acquired being king, right? Which is what all of these people are. Everybody that's outside of the nation of Israel, they're just very vain. They want to show you, oh, I got this, I got that. And that's where our rappers, you know what I mean, our entertainers get that, that vain sense of pleasure from, which is, I got this car, I got these chains, these types of things. Because this man put a whole feast on so that way he could show everybody how much money he got and how rich he is, right? You never hear about Solomon as rich as he was. You never hear about him putting a feast together talking about, hey, come look at all of the money I got. People came and visited him to see what kind of wisdom he had because he had so much wisdom, right? So I'm just pointing that out, but keep going.
Okay, verse 5. And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan, the palace,
Mm-hmm.
both unto great and small, 7 days
Mm-hmm.
in the court of the garden of the king's palace.
So now he made a 7-day feast. Let's skip down for time's sake. Let's get to verse 9.
Okay, verse 9. Also, Vashti,
Vashti.
Vashti,
Mhm.
the queen, made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus.
So
Who she made a feast for?
She made a feast for the women
For the women, right? Go ahead.
in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus.
So now the man made a feast for everybody. This is a feast. He's declaring a feast. But then his wife goes and says, okay, he making a feast. I'm gonna make a feast, but it's just gonna be for the women. She's making a feast specifically for the women. And there's a very pivotal point in what we're reading that's going to show you why what happens next. Keep going.
Okay, verse 10. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine.
So now this man is drunk. You know what I mean? He's feeling himself, right? Keep going.
Okay. He commanded Mehuman,
Mm-hmm.
Biztha,
Mm-hmm.
Harbona, Bigtha, and Abacta, Zatar, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of King Ahasuerus the king,
Go ahead.
to bring Vashti, the queen, before the king with the crown royal.
So now he's sending his servants to go, hey, go get my wife. I want you to bring my wife here, right? Keep going.
To show the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look on.
So this woman was pretty. He said, okay, he's drunk. He's like, go get matter of fact, go get my wife. Bring her in here so everybody can see how beautiful my wife is, right? Keep going.
But the queen.
Hey, Slacky, before we go on, guys, if anybody know, I want y'all to put down who that sound like to y'all.
God.
We can start laughing. Who that sound like to y'all? If anybody can get this right, who that sound like to y'all? In fact, I'm gonna give it away just a little bit, give you a little hint. My brother in UPK checked the hell out of him for it. They had a debate. I already gave it away. They checked the hell out of him for it. That's polite. Polite
put
African, ain't
put
it?
her on. He might be.
He might
or might not be.
Well,
it's a 50-50.
For as far as Captain Tazariot go, he African. At least for right now, as we know, right? But nonetheless, that sounds just like him because he did the same thing to his rib, right? When he paraded her on the stage, right? And the Cap checked the hell out of him for it. Go ahead.
Verse 12.
And granted, this nigga wasn't even drunk when he did it.
Right.
He was having a wrong right. He wasn't even drunk. This king, not to make it an excuse or not, but he was at least drinking, right? Polite did it sober. Go ahead.
Verse 12. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlain.
So now the queen said, no, you ain't my daddy, nigga. I'm not coming at your beck and call. No, I'm not coming. No. Which is, I'm just being honest. So now she said no, right? I'm putting the extras on it. But what she did say, what we can find in these records is that she said, no, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to continue doing what I want to do, which is she said a party for the women. She got a girls' night out. Her husband like, hey, come home. Got something for you. You know, he trying to show his women off, which is, of course, out of the spirit regardless. But she ain't listen. Now, these are two heathens, so I don't really give a damn. But this does show you something about the story that's coming that we're going to read tonight. There's a spirit on that man, and we're going to find out the spirit that was on that woman, what happens to that, right? Keep going.
Therefore was the king very wroth.
So now the king got mad.
Right.
He already drunk. So
Which is a very unwise thing to do,
right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because don't forget, this is a king.
Right.
A very prominent king at the time, right? This is a man that ordered thousands upon death.
Right.
This thing about women, like, I say one thing about women, man. Women sometimes it's not very wise. Right? You know what I mean? It's truly not wise. But nonetheless, she did this. And she's about to go ahead, keep going.
And his anger burned in him. Verse 13. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment.
Skip down verse 15.
Verse 15. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to law? Because she hath not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains.
Verse 17.
Verse 17. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women.
It shall do what?
Come abroad unto all women.
So now this woman is the king's wife. She is the queen. She can't get away with this, because if she gets away with this, disobeying her husband,
right,
everybody's going to look and say, damn, if the queen can get away with disobeying her husband,
right,
so the average man, he never going to be able to have control over his wife.
She's a representation.
Right.
It's like today, like having the president, right? You got a president, you got the first lady. The reason why they call her first lady, she's supposed to be a representation for all women, right? So if you got the first lady, right, take Obama, the African, right? Like imagine if Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama was a sister too, right? Wasn't she? Damn.
Right, yeah, I jumped up and said,
damn. Well, she was, I think she was.
She was a sister, yeah.
Damn. He got over on us, man.
Right.
But it'd be as if like she was violating him in front of the world, right? Like imagine how he would look like in front of other men, prime ministers all around the world, Russian presidents. You know what I'm saying? It is no way he can allow that to slide. There's no way. After a while, like, go ahead.
Okay. So that they shall despise their husbands.
So now these women are going to think that if the queen can get away with disrespecting her husband and not listening to her husband, the average man, he ain't got no control over his wife, because the queen she can Go ahead.
If I could,
Mhm.
I like how the Bible puts it. If you do
Resign.
not listen to your husband, that means you despise him. Right. Which is really what it is.
Right.
Let me get a mustard. No, mustard. You keep going,
Yeah,
Swaki.
really what it is, if you don't want to listen to your husband and be disobedient and party like that, you're gonna be a hot girl. That means you really despise your husband. Like
Right.
You can really yeah.
Kind. So that they shall despise their husbands.
Mhm.
Yeah, they gonna hear what Vashti did, and then they gonna be like, "Well, I don't even really gotta like this nigga." Excuse me. That's why I thought that was heavy.
No, right. That's why sisters have to understand, especially when you have she's not a sister, but this is a perfect example. Like, perfect example for women. Like, if your man is in a position of where he's the king or whatever it may be, like, you have to be careful how you carry yourself as a woman. I'm saying, because other women are gonna mimic you. I'm saying, and that's what the king knew that, so he had to make an example of her. Which, you know what I'm saying, you keep going.
Let's
You
read
done, right?
verse.
Yeah.
Let's read verse 19. Try to read it through real quick. We got a lot to cover. Let's read verse 19.
Verse 19. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him. Let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another.
Say it again.
Let the king give her royal estate unto another.
See, she wants to be rebellious,
Right.
right? She wants to listen. As the brother said, like, shit, I can do what I want to do. I ain't got to listen to you, whatnot. She said, mind you, she's saying this to the most powerful man at the time. We all know about them Persians, right?
On the planet.
Like, on the planet, right? So that's a very bold thing that she's doing. So, personally, I think it's stupid. If anybody, I think it's highly stupid. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, to each his own, right? She did this, and what he's saying is, man, no longer she come in our presence. You know what I'm saying? What he gonna do is he gonna play. Go ahead.
Read that last part again and read it all the way through.
Come. Let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
That is what?
That is better than she.
Prettier than she?
Better than she.
Oh no, we're not talking about beauty. We're talking about obedience.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. And we're gonna find out tonight with Esther. Esther was an obedient sister.
Beautiful sister.
She was a beautiful sister that damn right. And she understood that, which is the same thing. I feel like people are crazy when it comes to the UPK because they think that we just make our women bow down. That's not the case. We have orders that we have to follow. We are obedient too.
Right.
That's what the scriptures tell us to do.
Say that again.
We are obedient. We have men that we have to follow.
Orders, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all
For
women,
sure.
if anything, y'all women have it easier than us because I got about, I don't know how many men are above me and how many different men I got to take orders from. All y'all got to do is just take orders from one man. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody I might have never even met. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta take orders from them and another man is above me. Another man, damn right.
He said them niggas on top.
Yeah.
I don't know these niggas for real.
Right. So it's like, but that's the point. So that's really what we're gonna focus on tonight is just the obedience, and it's a good thing because as brothers in the truth, we understand obedience. Sisters in the truth, you understand obedience through serving your husband. So, and if you don't have a husband, you understand obedience through serving the UPK, of course, under the Most High in Christ. So we're gonna get right into it now. That's the first part, right? Ahasuerus, which is the king, he's a pivotal person in this story. His wife was not obedient. He got rid of her. Now let's get the second chapter and the 7th verse. Well, let me see. I don't want to skip too much. Give me let's do 2 and 1. Just try to read through it a little bit quick because I do want to get the context.
The book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 1. After these things, when the wrath of the king Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her. Then said the king's servant that ministered unto him, let there be a fair young virgin sought for the king.
This is let's find somebody better. So now he got rid of that broad that wouldn't listen to him, and he said, okay, I'm finding me a new woman now, right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. Let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan, the palace, to the house of the women, unto the custody of Hedge, Higi, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let their things for purification
keep
given
going.
them.
Yep, keep going.
Verse 4. And let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vashti.
Right. So now the woman that he finds is going to take her place. Overall, take her place. I'm talking about he's going to deal with this woman and she's going to become the queen. Right? Keep going.
Okay. And the thing pleased the king, and he did so.
All right, let's get into the meat of this thing, right? Verse 5.
Verse 5. Now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai.
Whose name was Mordecai. We're talking about a brother. All right, Maradakia in the Hebrew. That's what this brother's name was. And he was a Jew. He was underneath, you understand? He was underneath the captivity of the Persians and the Medes, right? Go ahead.
Okay. The son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite.
Now we're gonna find out a little bit of history about what happened with the Persians and the Medes and with the Jews, right? With the southern kingdom of Israel. Keep going.
Verse 6. Who had been carried away from Jerusalem with captivity, which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah.
So now this is the same group of people that got carried away in captivity under King Jeconiah. Now the Persians and the Medes have control over these people, right? Keep going.
Okay. Whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
If you know anything about the history, right? We got taken out of our land by the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, who then that power transferred over us to the Persians and the Medes, right?
Now, did that kingdom sound familiar to anybody? Nebuchadnezzar.
It's Babylonian.
Right? Who remember? I don't know how old anybody is. Like, who remember there was a show on what was it on Nickelodeon?
What
Disney Channel? Like Xenon and Ezekiel, some shit like that. It was called Nebuchadnezzar. Anybody remember that shit?
I don't know
Sound
about
a little
that.
familiar.
I'm saying like during that time, back in the day where. So you remember that?
Xena the Princess Warrior, that show?
No, not the Princess Warrior. No, that's a
Not
little bit
so-
older. I know.
Me?
Nah, the one that he brought.
You talking about the
Actually, I was
talking about the bottle. You talking about the bottle?
Yeah, the bottle. Yeah, the bottle that he brought. Yeah. But anyway, that kingdom, that same kingdom, that king is the reason is what we're talking about here.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. I know
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. Not to mention, don't forget the Persians in particular. Who remember 300?
Yeah.
Who remember Xerxes in 300? Right? Remember that great king Xerxes in 300? This is his people. This is his tribe. You know what I'm saying? Right. Keep going on. Slide.
Sir. Verse 7. And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther's.
That is who?
That is Esther.
So now, this is talking about the fact that Mordecai, who we just read about, he's bringing up Hadassah or Esther. All right, her name was Hadassah. That name Hadassah in the Hebrew means myrtle tree, which is a symbolism of fertility. That's the name that she was given, right? Keep going.
His uncle's daughter.
His uncle's daughter, go ahead.
For she had neither father nor mother.
Right. Her father and mother were not present. Scriptures don't talk about whether they were killed or whatever the case. We can only assume, right? Keep going.
And the maid was fair and beautiful.
And this was a pretty sister.
Now,
Esther was a pretty. Go ahead.
Before we go, don't forget, these are captives, right?
Right.
These are people that are subject to this king. So imagine, I'll catch you up. So he's his wife didn't listen to him. He's looking for a new wife because he's done with this one. She's rebellious. She doesn't listen to her, right? So he's looking for a new woman. Now, what he went to go search out was the captives, right? These people are quote unquote, we call them slaves, right? These were his subjects that he finds. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go find a wife in one of my subjects. You know what I'm saying? So what he did was he called the uncle onto Esther, right? Uncle of Esther. Keep going on.
Whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter.
So he raised this sister as his own, which is
Right.
what any good brother or sister should do. You understand? That's what he did, right? Keep going.
Verse 8. So it came to pass when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered unto Shushan the palace, to the custody of Haggai, that Esther was brought unto the king's house.
So the Esther was brought into the king's house. Read the next verse.
Verse 9. And the maiden pleased him.
So now this man liked Esther, right? Keep going.
And she obtained kindness of him.
Right. She obtained kindness of him. He wanted this sister, right? Keep going.
And he speedily gave her things for purification,
Mm-hmm.
which such things as belonged to her,
Mm-hmm.
and 7 maidens.
Right. Now give me verse 10.
Verse 10. Esther had not showed her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
So answer me this question. Why did Mordecai say, don't show the people, meaning the Jews, the Israelites, don't show them the things that this king is doing to set you on above them? Why did Mordecai charge her with that? Go ahead.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not a good thing to flex on your own people, especially get it from Edomite.
Yeah, get out of hands. Right.
Now,
that's him.
Which,
definitely.
Yeah,
I like that. I like
now, which go against a lot of Israel. You know, Israelites, a lot of men and women, specifically niggas. You know, we love to flex on what? Our niggas, right? We love to flex on our own people. We don't care about nothing else other than to flex and show our muscle to our own people. Mordecai charged her because he's like, nah, we don't do that. Not to mention, imagine if she was doing that. What would happen?
It's gonna cause like some hate.
Hatred, you know what I'm saying, amongst it, which that's what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget, mind you, always having you back in your head when reading the story. These are slaves. Esther comes from, we're subjects onto this king, right? Esther and her people are uncle and all of them. They're subject. The Israelites are now subject. They took over out. They rule over us, right? Now, he's telling her, do not flex on your own people. Don't go and tell them how, man, the king favored me in this. Imagine being a sister, right? And now one sister's coming to you telling you, like, man, the king loved me, this, he, that. Imagine, like, you got some haters out there, like, right? You, like, other sisters gonna be like, well, man, I don't like her. I don't, you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah, and if I could, at the same time, everybody's poor and literally being colonized, and you're flexing on them, telling them how
they
you're
poor,
in the palace and all that.
Right? That you in the palace, you eating every night, like he's sitting the best. Like, you can't do that. One of the things I love about Esther is she never asked what, why.
Right.
You know, a lot of sisters want to ask why you want to. Esther like she trusts this man because this man is raising her. You know what I'm saying? That's a choice that she made. This man is raising her, and she trusts that man. She ain't gonna ask him why or question anything that he want to do. She's just gonna follow the order that she's been given. She's a righteous woman. Right? Keep going.
Verse 11. And Mordecai walked every day before the court of the women's house to know how Esther did and what should become of her.
Mm-hmm. So this man watched over his daughter. The same way when you go into the book of Ecclesiasticus, it says that a man loses sleep over his daughter because of the care of her. Like, you have to watch over her with an impudent eye. That also comes out of the book of Ecclesiasticus, meaning that you have to watch this woman. Right? Keep going.
Verse 12.
That's love. You know what I'm saying? That's love. When you're watching over, you have brothers have daughters, and you got to be able to know what. If you have a daughter, you don't know what you raising her, you don't know what she might and might not do, then you're a terrible father. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're an absolute terrible father. Like, I got a daughter, I know what to expect from her. You know what I'm saying? I watch her. You know what I'm saying? Which every brother should do. You have a woman you're raising over, I know what to expect, not to expect from her. I know what she would and wouldn't do. Right. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 12. Now when every maid's turn was come to go into the king, to King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the women. For so were the days of their purification accomplished.
Verse 16. Skip down.
Verse 16. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into his house royal in the 10th month.
So that's who he chose. I'm trying to get to the point because it's a lot to go through, right? So that's who King Ahasuerus chose, which is Esther, right? This was the sister that was chosen by King Ahasuerus. Give me verse 17.
Verse 17. And the king loved Esther above all the women.
And he loved his women, right? Keep going.
And she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
So now she has the highest position in this captivity. Even though her nation is captive under this king, she has the highest position, right? Give me verse 20.
Verse 20. Esther had not yet shewed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her.
So the same thing that Mordecai charged her 10 verses ago in verse 10, he said, don't show these people, don't show your brothers and sisters, don't take an Instagram video how sweet life is being under your oppressor. You understand? She didn't do that. She listened to Mordecai, and she never showed her people all of the fancy ways that she was living under her oppressor. Go ahead.
For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai.
Did what?
For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai.
Just like every good man is able to follow a man that's above him, a good woman should be able to follow the man that's above her. And that's exactly what this sister did. And that's why there's a book that's written about her right now, because she was able to follow order, follow instruction. The reason why we have books like Job, the reason why we have books like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is not because John was special, not because Mark was special, but because those were men that were willing to follow men that were above him, right? Mark followed who? Christ. John followed who? Christ. Everybody has to have, it's always followed a leader in the Bible. And the leader in this sense was Mordecai. And that man charged her to do the right thing. And she did it. And we're going to find out later in this class that her following this man is the reason why Israel was able to get out of that captivity and not be put to death like the king wanted them to.
Of course.
This is a heavy cook too, because when you read the Old Testament, it's really the Most High dealing with Moses directly. But in this book, it's not the Most High talking to Mordecai. It's just Mordecai giving instructions to Esther. But when you read it, you see how the Most High was involved in the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like with Esther following orders and Mordecai doing what he did. You know, it all, like when you read the whole story, you can tell that the Most High was with them by the outcome of the whole, by the conclusion of the whole thing.
Right. You know how rare this story is too? You mean to tell me a beautiful, righteous sister? You know how hard it is to find? Usually they come one or the other, right? Either she's righteous, super righteous, but she's not beautiful enough for a king to choose her. Or she absolutely beautiful, but this sister is a dragon. Right? But now you got one that's beautiful and righteous. And you mean to tell me like she take orders?
Right.
Imagine if Esther was a nigga, Salaki. You know what I'm saying? She'll be like mad. It'd be war, be rage. You know what I'm saying? All through the city. You know what I'm saying? You look at another like Matthias, right?
Yeah.
Like Matthias, like, right? So what I'm saying is this right here is absolutely rare. A sister that I'm saying, which, like again, today is all dedicated. I'm saying this high holy day is all dedicated towards Hester.
Right.
I'm saying, but just to show you how ISUPK, we do acknowledge like our women. I'm saying when they do right, we absolutely acknowledge our women. Why wouldn't you? Right. Esther saved the nation.
That's right.
Gone. And for that sister, like I said before earlier, like she's dead and gone, but today we still talk about Esther today as if she's still here. Because that sister was bad as hell. I'm not talking about the way she looked, the way she carried herself. She was an absolute soldier. Right. You know what I'm saying? We hate to use that word when it comes to women, but nonetheless, she was obedient. She was beautiful. She did everything. Put it today. Esther was that woman today where imagine if the king, I don't know, would have wanted to harm Esther. The nation of Israel, it's been a rebellion. Right. You know what I'm saying, over a woman. It ain't like we could Esther represent at that time. Esther saved the nation, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. Hey, go ahead.
If I get a precept too, let me get you can hold where you at, but give me Jeremiah the 4th chapter real quick. I do want to bring a precept because we're talking about the fact that Esther was not flaunting her position. Like she could have been like, yeah, I'm the king's wife. And she has all of the privileges that the regular woman would not have that's in captivity because she's the wife of the king. Right. I'm gonna show y'all something. Give me Jeremiah 4:30.
That's what I like about this sister, man, because all throughout this whole book is her listening. Right. I don't think she questioned him not once, huh?
I don't think so. I don't know if it's in there.
That's because she's a wise sister, man. Mm-hmm. She ain't questioned him not once. I'm saying, you got it up? Go ahead.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 30. And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Mm-hmm. Thou clothest thyself with crimson.
Read that again. Though thou, go ahead.
Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornament, with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting.
So as much as you want to make yourself look like you're pretty, like you have everything, like you are better than everybody else because I'm with the king. Keep going.
Okay. In vain shalt thou make thyself fair.
You're going to look good for nothing. Keep going.
Thy lovers will despise thee.
And in this case, we're going to apply this to Esther. Mordecai knew that this woman could, if she wanted to, she could make herself look greater than everybody else. Right. She's going to have the best garments because she has the most money, because her husband is the king of this place. He could have, listen, that king could have adorned her in everything that she ever wanted in her life, and she could go out in front of the people and make herself look like she's really not Black, Hispanic, or Native American. She's really not just like the low level. She's not a minority. She's up there with the king. She could have did that. But her father said, no matter what you do, keep going.
Okay.
Thy lovers
will despise you.
Everybody's going to hate you. As much as you think that you being the king's wife is some sort of flex, your people are going to look at you like a traitor, like a sellout. They're going to look at you as somebody that thinks that they're better than us when really you just a nigga in a spick just like us. You
That's
Black
like
and Hispanic just
this,
like us. Go ahead.
If you're watching this, the brother giving you his merch. What he's saying is, if you're a brother or a sister that's carrying yourself that way while your people is in hell, an absolute give an example. The Super Bowl champion is the Chiefs, right? Who know Travis Kelce? Travis Kelce is a tight end for the number 2 on the Chiefs. You have Patrick Mahomes, a little high yellow, like light-skinned brother, right? And then you got like the number 2 on that team. His right-hand man is the tight end, Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is married to a sister. Let me show you how. She's married to a sister. This sister walk around, she flaunt herself as if she's like, right? She's second to coming. The story just broke. She wants a divorce because she says as she's been married to him, though granted, she helped him since high school come all the way up. She said from that time to now, he have only bought her a gift or so that's worth about $146. He don't take her on dates. He treat her like granted, right? Yeah. Granted, this white boy is a millionaire, right? But she's coming out complaining on the fact that he have not bought me nothing. He don't take me out. He have no gifts, no nothing. Look how he treat me. But she put off the image as if she was living a high life.
Right.
If anybody, you know what I'm saying, if you go look this sister up, as if she's giving a highlight. They're talking about her on Clubhouse, all that. I'm sitting there laughing like this sister embarrassed herself in all retrospect. Right. I'm saying this sister absolutely. Grab a couple cheers. Yeah, you give them yours. This sister absolutely embarrassed herself because now she looked foolish because she looked foolish in the eyes of the world because she came off as if she had it all, even though he was treating her like absolute garbage, this nasty heathen. But she wanted to do what? She wanted to floss on the rest of her sisters. She wanted to floss on other Black and Hispanic women, even though she didn't ever have it like that. You know what I'm saying? Keep going on.
Come on.
What verse you at?
I'm still at verse 36.
All right, no sweat. Let's get verse 7 in the next chapter. So that's the 3 and 7.
I come to the book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
In the first month, that is the month Nisan,
Turn it off.
in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot, before Haman.
Mm-hmm. Before who?
Before Haman.
So now we're gonna find out who Haman is. Haman, yeah, no sweat. Haman is an Edomite. All right, we know that through the biblical history. Haman is a man that is. We're gonna find out how vile he is. All right. Keep going. I'll explain more about Haman. Just keep going. So we're gonna read it from the top, and then let's talk about Haman for a second. Go ahead.
Okay. The book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 7. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur. That is lot from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month. That is the month Adar.
So now here we see Haman being introduced. He's going to be a very important character in this story, this historical event. Right? Keep going.
Verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, Ahasuerus,
Mhm.
there's a certain people scattered abroad
Mhm.
and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom.
There's a certain people that scattered abroad, which we know this is talking about the Israelites already. He's going to make it clear, but this is also further proof that in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, when it talks about us being scattered, this is just what it is. Everybody knew that we were scattered, right? So now there's a certain people that scattered abroad inside of the provinces. Remember, he had the provinces all the way from India on down, right? So give me verse. Yeah, give me Esther, the 3rd chapter and the 9th verse, or the middle of the 8th verse. Lucky.
Middle of verse 8.
Mhm.
There is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom,
Mhm.
and their laws are diverse from all people.
Their laws are what?
Diverse.
So the Israelites have a different set of laws. Everybody has the law of, thou shalt not kill. You're gonna come to America, you can't kill. You can't kill somebody and get away with it. You're gonna go to jail. You can't steal from people. Thou shalt not steal. That's everybody has that. But the Israelites don't just have that law. Besides that law, we also have laws about brotherhood. We have laws about how to deal with one another. We can't charge each other interest. If I give you $25 and because you need it, and you tell me, cool, I'm gonna take the $25 and I tell you, okay, you got to give me 30 back. That's interest. The scriptures say that we can't do that. We have laws that say we cannot charge interest. Right. We got laws that say that we have to build a battlement around our roofs. Like we have a lot of different laws that are very distinct from every other nation. So Haman is coming to the king. He like, no, these cats is different. They got a different set of laws. They're not just like us. They're different from us. They've separated themselves from us, right? Keep going. They serve a different God. Go ahead.
Neither keep they the king's laws.
And we don't keep the king's laws because when we got in the hand of the Persians and the Medes, we weren't keeping the same laws that the Persians and the Medes were keeping. We were separate from them. Even history tells you that. History says that we wouldn't eat the certain things that they was eating at their feast. You can go into the book the last 2 million years, and you can see that we would eat different food than them on their prescribed feast days, which shows you we weren't keeping their laws. We were keeping our own laws, right? Keep going.
Mind you, don't forget, we're captives, right? I got to keep bringing this over and over. This time, the Israelites, who are Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, we're captives at this time, right? And because we're captives, like, don't forget, the people that took us captives are the same king. I'm saying the same king that like Hester and favor her and all that. We are captives under them, right? And this king, don't forget, he has subjects, his men, his nation. They don't like us,
right?
So of course you will have, by default, he's going to have people that do not favor us,
right?
And that's who he is, right? Keep going up.
Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them.
So Haman said, "Look, you shouldn't even deal with these people. They don't listen. They have their own laws. They just too far gone. They believe in a totally different God than us. So you shouldn't even deal with them."
The reason why he's telling the king that is because he see the king is starting to favor us because of what? Here's one thing about a man,
right?
Let you women know, right? All you women know. One thing about a man is this. It's the reason why God said this. If it was not for the laws of God, if it was not for that book, woman would be the most powerful thing on the face of the earth.
Right.
And you see it more so here in America. If you're a woman here in America and you're quote unquote, like, what's the term? Like
strong.
You're strong, independent, you're a feminist and all that, you're doing yourself a disfavor.
Right.
You're doing yourself an absolute disfavor. In this law, woman is God in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you're feminine, sweet, you can get whatever you want. You mean to tell me, like, all you need is a man's ear? You ever heard the term, the pen is mightier than the sword? If you're feminine, sweet, and your husband just absolutely adore you, you can get him to do whatever it is. Mark my word. Right? Mark my words. You're that, and you whisper in my ear certain, like, of course, I mean, it's going to be a little hard for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a wolf. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, your husband is in a position, like, prominent position. You know what I'm saying? That he's not amongst us. You whisper in his ear, you're going to get what? But if you're feminist and you're strong and independent, Okay. All right.
So, okay, what he just said is that's in the Bible. That's in the Bible. So, First Ezra, the 4th chapter, or excuse me, the 3rd chapter, right? The 12th verse says, the 3rd wrote, women are strongest. There was a king that was asking, what's the strongest force in this entire earth? Is it wine? Because wine makes people do a lot of crazy things.
Right.
Strong drink makes a lot of people do a lot of different crazy things, right? They even call it spirits, right? What about the king? The king can make you do different things. That's in this chapter. The king could be the strongest. But then we see here a wise man that said, women are strongest. Because women, he goes, if we go read the 4th chapter, which we're not going to do today, we might get some of it because we're talking about Esther and we're talking about her winning over the king and her femininity. We're going to talk about the fact that they are the strongest over the wine and the strong drink and over the king and all of that. But if we keep reading, it says, but above all, the truth beareth away the victory. Because there's damn near a hierarchy. And women have a lot of power. The problem is, just like he was just saying, a lot of women don't understand where their power lies. Lies, right? It lies in your femininity. And like I said, we got to get into it because in the book of Esther, which is what we're going to go over tonight, we're going to find out how you can use that femininity to be in your favor. So let's
give you another example. World War I was started over who?
Right, over women. Right.
World War II with Hitler was started over who?
Over them.
Don't forget, Mussolini and Hitler was knocking the same broad.
Yeah.
Go do your research. Start over a woman. You be an absolute fool. I say this sincerely with the utmost disrespect. If you're a woman and you're mighty strong, like you want to be independent, you are slacking. I don't want to say it on you know what I mean, but you are a fool, man. You're an absolute fool. Like, that makes no sense. Why would you not play to your strength? Your strength is your femininity. You being a woman, your strength is the pen. So the pen is mightier than the sword. It is. Your strength is the pen. If you can get somebody to do your doings for you, you know what I'm saying? Keep going up.
Verse 9. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed.
So now Haman looking at this group of people like, we got to get rid of them.
Right.
It's the same thing that you find in the book of Exodus when we find out that the Pharaoh, the Egyptians, they wanted us out of here. You cannot have blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans unified together. You can't have that, because if that happens, we're going to take over. That's even what the Bible tells. Like in Zephaniah 2:1, it says, gather together, you people that are not desired. If we gather together, we can do everything that the Bible talks about. We can make these prophecies come true. The prophecies in this Bible tell us that blacks and Hispanics are going to rule over the entire earth. Everything. All we got to do is just come together. So
when he says black,
when
my brother say black, slacking.
The
brother say black. I want to get some concept. Black people that came over here on slave ships, they're not Africans. I'm repeat again. Not black people. Pharaoh did not recognize that Moses was an Israelite. We all know the story. Moses' mother let him down the canal. Pharaoh's daughter found him and raised him as her own. Right?
Right.
The Israelites and the Egyptians had the same skin color. Africans sold us into slavery. Africans turned on us along with the white man and sold us over here into slavery. We are not Africans.
Right.
We had a blood tie to the original people of this land. You're looking at the Aztecs, like the Mayans, you know what I'm saying? The Native Americans that was over here. Those are our family. Right. So much so Taino Indians, so much so they fought. That's been hidden from history. They fought to free a lot of the slaves. I'm saying Native Americans speak the same thing we did. You go look at the history. Then the Native Americans is walking around here, seed we do. We all know you're from the seed of your father. We came from one daddy. Right? Go ahead, Alex.
Yes, sir. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business.
Ooh, go ahead.
To bring it into the king's treasury.
How much is a talent of silver? This is a hit. He putting a hit on the Israelites' heads. They want to get rid of us. So now, how much is a talent of silver? That's 33 kilograms of silver.
Google it.
What's the math?
Oh,
today?
I got it for you.
What's that?
Got it.
33
3
kilograms
mil, 2 mil?
is just one talent. How many talents did it say? How many talents was Haman willing to put on the heads of the Israelites?
10,000 talents.
10,000
You
talents.
gotta want a man dead. You gotta
You
want
have to.
people
That-
dead.
that-
You know how much money that is?
Oh, I know. I have
Like-
the number. I got it. I definitely got it.
What's the number, sir?
I want somebody to tell me.
It's like
40 million?
it's like half a million.
Nah,
Nah,
half a million,
a little more than
$186 million. I have $186 million. I want these people dead. Just kill them all. And it's not much to say, hey, yeah, these are a bunch of slaves and captives anyway. I mean,
Nearly
I
200
use them
mil.
to make money. Give me the money, and then I could just get rid
Say
of
this,
them.
how much?
$186 million. That's how much they put. That's
Oh,
how much
it, 2
Haman
mil?
put.
Yeah, 200 mil. You're right. Yeah.
And Haman was an Edomite. He wasn't even a Persian. He wasn't even a Mede. But guess what? That's why when we pray on the Sabbath service, we pray in Psalms the 83rd chapter. What? The heathen have come together and consulted together with a crafty counsel. They want to get rid of us. And this is not. We're reading in the book of Esther, but into history, and you can read these things. This event took place. This event actually took place. You can go into history books and find this event. These people have been trying to get rid of us for years and years. It wasn't just the Egyptians that did this.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just Haman that did this. There are many instances when these people have tried to cut us off from existence, because if you cut these people off, yeah, they'll be straight. The Edomites ain't got nothing to worry about.
It's a proven fact. Look at today. You cannot show me anyone better than the Northern Kingdom at soccer.
Mhm.
Have you seen the Mexican play soccer?
And Brazilians.
Have you seen them Brazilians? You see them like,
Mhm.
are you crazy? Yeah?
Mhm.
Ain't nobody. Soccer is the biggest sport in the face of the earth. I watch soccer. I know, right? The biggest sport in the face of the earth. Show me on the planet Earth. Ain't nothing bigger than Northern Kingdom. When I say Northern Kingdom, specifically talking about like the Mexicans, the Native Americans, the Salvadorians, Brazilians. I'm saying them.
Cubans.
Cubans, Puerto Ricans, ain't nothing bigger than them at that. The greatest sport in the earth. You seen boxing? Who's better at boxing than Black and Hispanics?
Right.
All the great champions. See, we always talk about what? We always talking about, well, who's better? The Chavez or this or that. I'm saying, like, let's Pernell Whitaker beat Chavez,
They
by the
call
way.
Mexico.
Why you don't do that? Don't do that.
So
Hey, but you know who we never put in the conversation?
Also,
We never bring Jake Paul in the conversation.
what?
That's what I'm saying, because he's a white boy.
Nigga, what would you bring?
But I'm
saying,
telling
though, why would you
you.
bring
So
him
he
up?
forgot his whole point. He brought up boxing. Now we in combat.
No, I remember my point. But why would you bring? He ain't no boxer, right?
But what I'm saying is,
Nonetheless, like, hey, ain't no white man can ever compete against any Israelite in anything. That's the reason why.
Okay.
Give you another example.
I'm right.
Right?
Go ahead.
I'll give you an example. Tell me when I'm wrong. I'll give you an example. Take real world issues, right? Like the biggest illegal aliens are who in America is who?
White people.
No.
Chinese.
Say it again.
The chickens.
The Chinks, Asians. But
We
who they
about to
after?
get- We about to.
But who
I'm
they
ready for the
after?
strike.
They after the
I'm
Mexicans,
ready for the strike.
right? Think about that.
Right.
The biggest set of illegal aliens on the face of the earth here in America is the Chinese. But there's a Chinatown in every major city. Who they after? The Mexicans. How does that make sense? When the Chinese, the people from the Middle East, they come in, they let them in for free.
Right.
Yet so you after the Mexicans who build this country?
Right.
That don't make any sense. But it makes sense if the Mexicans are God's chosen people, and that's why you hate them.
Right.
That's the only way it can make sense, huh? Go look at when Captain Zarek had a debate. Go look at the crime rate. They have black people as being the most violent people here in the United States. You see how much crimes white people commit? Oh my God, huh? Go look at the statistics. Look how many crimes white people commit. But yet still they have us as number one.
Right.
According to what they say. I'm saying go look at the books. Like, they ain't a lie. Who killed more people than white people? Who rape and pillage? Like, come on, it's not even close.
Right.
Ask the fish of the fish of the sea who the enemy is.
Damn.
The fishers will tell you white people is the devil. The Bible
That's
speaks.
right.
Right. Plastic trash island.
Right?
Yeah.
The ozone, like they tell you, like I'm not saying this to say, and I'll say this again. White people has been some of the nicest people to me of all time. That's the truth. I come out and say it again. White people has been some of the nicest people to me ever. All my enemies are either black or Hispanic. That's true. I testify to that. Puerto Ricans, black people, Mexicans, they all been my enemies. White people have took me in. That's the truth.
Right.
But here you got me still here saying the white man's the devil. Why? Has nothing to do with me personally. Right?
Right.
Has to do with how you treat my family, how you treat my people. I could be selfish. Esther would say the same thing I'm saying today.
Right.
Esther was treated beautifully by this king, right?
Right.
Esther didn't give a damn about them. Esther cared about her people.
That's right.
Because she has sisterhood, brotherhood.
That's right.
And that's what separates Israelites from everybody else. Family.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep going for me, y'all. Read the next verse for me. Verse 10, come.
And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy.
The Jews what?
Enemy.
Give me verse 13.
Verse 13.
So he put the hit out and he tasked this man for it. Go ahead, up.
And the letters were sent by posts into all the king's provinces.
So all of the king's provinces from India on down, this decree is to kill all of the Jews, right? Keep going.
To destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews.
To do what?
To destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews.
They were trying to once again eradicate us. They were trying to get rid of the Israelites. Keep going.
Both young and old,
Mm-hmm.
little children,
Mm-hmm.
and women in one day. Even
What that sound like to you?
it sounds like genocide.
Sound like Planned Parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like Planned Parenthood. I was gonna come there. Sound like Planned Parenthood. Sound like the Trail of Tears. They've been trying to kill us for ages.
Right.
They've been trying. Here's one thing white people know. They know black and Hispanic people are in hell. And because they're in hell, and when they have children, they won't be able to take care of those children. They're gonna take the easy road out, just like anybody would. So meaning to have an abortion would be an easy thing to do. Why wouldn't you have an abortion? They know the condition that we're in. They know the hell that we're under. This game is rigged. This life that we live in is absolutely rigged. They know. And what they're doing is they're setting us up for failure.
Right.
Am I wrong or right? Huh?
That's right.
They're setting us up for failure. Yeah. Something you want to say? Huh?
So I was just gonna say, it's literally a setup. They make blacks and Hispanics impoverished and poorer than anyone else on the planet, and then they go out and they set up Planned Parenthood. They set up any kind of trap, crack cocaine, an abortion clinic, and then they tell you you can't afford that, baby. So you should just, we'll help you out, and we'll get rid of it free of charge, XYZ. And that's the kind of the same spirit that Haman came in.
Right.
When he set up this day to kill all of, to slay blacks and Hispanics for money in the Bible. He came to the king and he said, look, you low-key, you got a problem. All these Israelites, they are unruly in your society.
Mm-hmm.
They got black on black crime.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really know how to act. They're drug addicts. Pay me some money so I can handle your problem. And that's exactly the same strategy that the United States uses today against black people. You know what I'm saying?
You ever saying there's nothing new under the sun?
Mm.
You show me what's new under the sun. There's nothing new. They're using the same thing their ancestors have done. That's why we say every white man, woman, and child is the devil the Bible speaks of.
Damn
They just
right.
come back. Reincarnation is very real. You was once here before. It's very real. You was once here, just like they was once here before. They feel the same way about us today that they felt back then.
Right.
Make no misunderstanding. You got to decide which side of the line you're going to be on when that time comes.
Right.
Because obviously the line has been drawn here in America. Right now they're talking about World War III breaking out. Make a decision. Make a decision. If you're on the side of America and white people and you're inclusive, everybody being together, then most I'd be with you. I don't mean it, obviously, because he's not going to be with you. You know what I'm saying?
It hasn't worked out yet.
He have not worked out yet.
Right.
Show me when voting worked. Anybody could tell me when voting worked. They said Obama was the Messiah. Look, yet still we're still in the same poverty. Nobody deported more people than Barack Obama, that nasty African.
Right.
See how they use it as a, you know what I'm saying? Then try to pit black and Hispanic against each other by, you know what I'm saying, as if he's black. Obama ain't nothing but a booty scratching, nasty African.
That's right.
And I mean that with the utmost disrespect.
Right.
I'm saying he is like, who deported more Mexicans, huh? Who deported more Colombians, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans? Who deported more any than Barack
Right.
Obama?
Right. That's nobody.
Nobody. He deported more than anybody
He
else.
said records.
Biden is deporting Mexicans right now because of the plans that Obama put in place.
Exactly.
Like, like
Barack
he had,
Obama,
like-
literally under your nose without you even knowing, Barack Obama changed the whole game.
right.
Because now you got Mexican children in cages right now as we speak. You seen the picture where that the sister had to
Yep.
expose herself in front of everybody and feed the baby through the cage. She have her titties sticking out through the cage and feed her infant child. You mean to tell me you can? I'll come right to you, officer. You mean to tell me you want to come back from that? Like, war has already been declared. You make a decision as a man or a woman, specifically as a man. I'll say this: if you're okay with your woman being subjugated and being low in the face of the earth, then okay, the devil be with you. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, if you're a righteous man and you feel some type of way about that, God be with you. The God of the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, sir, Barack Obama and Joe Biden actually built those cages under their regulations and their.
I don't see how anybody find that to be like a Barack Obama save any. I cannot stand the African. And make no misunderstanding. When God come back, he killed the Africans too.
That's right.
That's the thing that everybody think we saw against white people. The Africans too, the Asians too. God said the Asians are what? A wash bucket. You know what a wash bucket is? You want to say that? You know how nasty that is?
So a wash bucket is something that the Vikings, the Caucasians, the devil the Bible speaks of, would use in the morning when they wake up. Instead of brushing their teeth, washing their face, and washing their behind like we do, because we're decent people, they would pass around a bowl of water, and each of them, in the rank of order, would spit in it, swish it around their mouth.
I got one
clean
better
their
for you.
ears, dig their nose, snot rockets into it, and pass it on down the line.
Whoever saw the Vikings, Ragnar Lothbrok, you seen it? You seen the perfect example of a wash bucket. They have a whole army of thousands of men. They have a bucket of water. One bucket of water. They all spit in it, blow their nose, all that in it, drink in their mouth, drink some water, and they pass it around to the next one.
Right.
That's what the Asians is according to God. Don't come to me and tell me. How we know that today? Coronavirus proved that.
Right.
To hell with them Asians.
Right.
If you love them Asians, to hell with you too.
Damn right.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Keep going from here.
And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day.
So now give me chapter 4 and verse 1.
Sir, chapter 4. This is the book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 1.
Right, let's get to it.
The great mourning of Mordecai and the Jews. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes.
Go ahead.
And put on sackcloth with ashes, and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry.
So now this man Mordecai, he heard the thing that this king decreed that basically his people were going to get exterminated. Genocide was coming against his people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Israelites, right? Keep going.
And came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews.
So now they came in front of the king's gates. Who's also in front of or on the other side of the king's gates? Esther. Esther's inside of the king's gates, right? So now Esther gets wind of what's happening. She sees, her spiritual father, right, out front of them gates with a bunch of men crying, and they're not crying with tears. You understand? They protesting. They coming up against the king, right? Give me verse 4.
Verse 4. So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it her.
They like, hey, look, Mordecai is outside. That's your father. That's who they know him as, is her father. Your father's out there with a bunch of men, and they out protesting against what your husband is doing. What Haman is trying to decree against your people, right? Keep going.
Then was the queen exceedingly grieved.
She was what?
Exceedingly grieved.
This sister was grieved in her spirit. She was vexed in her spirit because she understood this is a decree that damn near she's allowing to happen. This is her husband that's going against her and her people. It's kind of like if somebody came to you and said, yeah, I'm going to kill you, the entire race of people that you come from. I'm going to make them extinct. I'm going to leave you alive. If you are a man or a woman that is righteous, you're going to be like, I'd rather die with them. You can't take my people from me. This is my bloodline. This is my family.
Right.
I'd rather die. And she felt that way. She said, no, you can't.
Right. You're going to see the power of a woman.
Right.
So, I mean,
yeah, no, yeah.
Here you're going to see the power of a woman. One of your true power is coming here.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's keep reading.
Yes, sir. It's a lot here.
Mm-hmm.
If I could. But would I leave off, sir?
You at verse
verse 4.
Four.
Sir.
Yeah.
So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai,
right,
and to take away his sackcloth from him. But he received it not.
So he put on sackcloth. It's an Israelite custom when we're grieving, when we're going through a tough time, we'll put on sackcloth, meaning we'll put on, terrible looking clothing damn near. It's not like you see how we fresh up here right now. This brother got this garment, I got this shirt on. This is nice clothing. This is what you do. This is how Israelites are supposed to dress. This is Israelite custom to look good. Now, when we're in the time of mourning, we don't dress well. You understand? We put on sackcloth. You ever seen a potato sack? That's damn near what the damn clothes look like. So now Esther sees that and she's like, okay, I'm going to send him out some nice clothing, some nice raiment. I'm going to make him that. She's thinking that's going to make him feel better. Mordecai said, damn that. I don't want that. I don't want to look better. That's not what I want. You understand? He doesn't want to look better. He wants his people to be saved. Keep going. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Verse 5. Then called Esther for Hatak, one of the king's chamberlains, whom he had appointed to attend upon her.
Go ahead.
And gave him a commandment to Mordecai to know what it was and why it was.
All right, so now just skip down to verse 7. They go, she sends that man to go talk, or excuse me, that woman to go talk to Mordecai, right? This is what Mordecai responds with, right? Go ahead.
And Mordecai, verse 7, and Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay the king's treasuries for the Jews to destroy them.
So now Mordecai tells this servant, this man, and says, look, the reason why we out here lamenting and mourning right now is because Haman is saying that we're about to all get put to death. He put $168 million on our head. We're about to get put to death, right? Keep going.
Verse 8. Also, he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them.
So now he got the receipts. This ain't something that Mordecai is just coming up with in his mind. He's got the receipts. Give this to Esther. Show her what her king is allowing. I mean, what her husband, the king, is allowing. Right? Keep going.
To show it to Esther and to declare it unto her and to charge her that she should go in unto the king to make supplication unto him and to make request before him for her people.
So now what Mordecai is doing as a good father, listen, this is your husband that we're talking about. It is your duty as an Israelite woman to go to this man and say, look, you cannot do this. It was her duty to go to that king, to her husband, and say, you cannot do this. I'm not allowing this. That's heavy. Go ahead.
But more feminine.
But more feminine. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show y'all when we get to the 6th chapter of this. Try to move through
it. Go ahead.
What
we're doing is we're teaching sisters how to talk to a man in power, how to talk to your husband, right? We all know by nature, man is stronger by nature. Not only is he stronger, but society have him in a position of power over a woman, right? If your man is in position over you, which naturally he is, what Esther is going to do is she's going to teach you, right? Teach you young sisters how to gain power, to gain favor in your husband. Not so much power, but to gain favor in your husband. How to help you gain favor. James, go ahead and read this.
Verse 9. And Hatak came and told Esther the words of Mordecai.
Go ahead.
Again, Esther spake unto Hatak and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. All the king's servants and all the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court,
The inner court. Keep going.
who is not called,
Mhm.
there is one law of his to put him to death.
To do what?
Put him to death.
Keep going.
Except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter.
So now, if the king holds out the golden scepter, you can come into the inner court. So now the way that this building was set up is you had an outer gate. You come into that gate into the inner court. You come into that inner court, there's another gate that separates you from coming inside the building. The law was that you can come in, but you have to get permission from the king. If you don't get permission from that king to come inside that inner court, you get put to death. You would have to hold, that king would have to hold out that golden scepter, a golden staff to give you permission. This is pivotal to this story.
You have to get permission.
Right.
Just remember that. You have to get permission. If you do not get permission, you get put to death. Right? And to show you how serious the king was, he was putting people to death that didn't get permission to come. Even people that's quote unquote in his favor. Right?
His servants,
mind you, his
everybody
servants,
was getting put to
everybody
death.
was getting put to death that did not come, that came through without getting permission.
Right.
Go ahead.
If I could, real quick,
go ahead,
if you don't mind. That's like, okay, when y'all come into this building, you can come in that front door, but you can't come around this corner through them curtains without getting searched first.
Right.
Y'all know that. Right. So you can come in, get searched, but you're not going to barge your way into these curtains, into this classroom. You're not going to do that. Or you get put to death. So like it. We ain't gonna kill y'all. Y'all can try it. Y'all can see if we're gonna kill you or not. But anyway, my point is that is the separation. All right. So now think about that. Now we're gonna find out what Esther did. We're gonna find out because this. I'm gonna give y'all a spoiler. Esther is going to come in through that inner court and she's not gonna die. If y'all want to learn how to be smart like Esther, we're gonna have to read this account and understand what's going on here. Read chapter 5 and verse 1.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 5, verse 1. Now it came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel.
She did what?
Put on her royal apparel.
Ooh, put that, man. Esther put that.
Yeah, she
pressure.
She applied pressure. Esther put on that pretty dress of hers, right? That the king's favorite color. Like she put on that jewelry that he loved, all the diamonds and gold, whatever it is. Like Esther put that royal, like. Esther was looking, once again, she's a fair woman, right?
Right.
Very fair, very uncommon for a woman to be not only fair, not uncommon for a woman to be fair, but also for her to be obedient, right? Esther was, you can take it with you, yeah, Colin. Not only that, but Esther was not only fair, like meaning beautiful, she was obedient.
Right.
Right? So she put on that beautiful, beautiful apparel, like dress of hers, right? Here's what Esther know. Go ahead, keep going.
Now it came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house.
She should be put to death. The next words that come out of this scripture should say, and Esther was put to death by the king and his servants.
Right.
That's what it should say.
Right.
That's what this Bible should say next.
Right.
Because that's what we just read a chapter before. She got to get put to death. Let's keep reading.
It's rules, right? It's law. She got to get put to death, right? Kill her, right?
Put her to death. That's what we just read.
Right.
Keep going.
And stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house.
Go ahead.
And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house.
So now the king is looking at his wife, who even his wife, by their declaration, would have to get permission to come to where she's at right now. She didn't get the permission. She said, damn that, I'm coming in. But what did she do before she came in? She got pretty. She looked, you know what she did? She looked real feminine. She put on her, she got bedazzled up. She got her fresh garment on.
Mind you,
beautiful.
This would have not worked if Esther was a dragon. If anybody know anything about the key thing is this: you can look as pretty as you want to look. You see, if you're a dragon, if you're a woman and you're a dragon, meaning your husband is fighting with you, like don't try this.
Right.
Mind you, do not try this. You have to be in a man's favor first before you try this.
That's right.
It could be very dangerous.
That's heavy.
It could be an excuse for him to kill you now. Right? Wrong or right? Don't forget, the decrees out of Israel. Listen.
If it was Vashti, she'd be dead.
Say it again.
Right.
If it was Vashti, she'd be dead.
Give that
Give
a
that
hand.
brother a hand.
Salaki.
That's how I was gonna. He took the words, huh?
Yeah.
Meaning that if it was the king's first wife, don't forget some backstory, right? I know we're moving a little bit fast on this. We're trying to jump through it to get through the whole thing. So we got Esther, who is the Israelites, right? She's from a tribe, the nation of Israel, right?
Right.
They are captives. So Esther is a captive to this king. Her and her people are captive to this king.
Mhm.
The king has a wife that's disobedient. She doesn't want to listen. She want to be all you single ladies. You know what I'm saying? She want to do what she want to do. So lucky, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
She want to listen to nothing. She, as far as she consider, like she wants to. I'm gonna show him that he can't control me. Like she wants to be that. Okay. The king said, okay, I'm gonna get a new vibe. I'm gonna get a new woman now, right? So Esther is that new woman that he's looking. Esther beat out all the other sisters, all the other women that he's in the nation that he was looking for. Esther beat them out, right? Not only beautiful, but she's meek, she's humble, right? Now with her being humble, now her people now is being put to death, and the king is okaying it. So what she did was she put on her. Went to her beautiful apparel, like she went to that council they were having into killing her people.
Mhm.
She should be put to death right now.
Right.
What she's doing was she's also testing the king. And what she did, she's doing the same thing that who?
Vashti.
Vashti. By all, if Vashti would have done this, Vashti would have been put to death because Vashti didn't have the king's
Right.
ear like that.
If I could,
Because she's a damn dragon, huh?
Right.
Vashti want to
Right.
be single ladies and independent and
Right.
strong. I can
Right.
do what I want to do. And all. She dumb as hell. She challenged the king. Esther didn't do that.
right.
Esther played smart. She was
Right.
playing chess. Go ahead up.
Vashti, remember the reason why she got put away from the king is because the king was like, I want her to come because she's pretty. He was trying to show her off. So the chick was pretty. She was good looking.
Right,
You understand? She probably knew how to dress and all of that.
right.
But that didn't beat the fact that she was just disobedient. She didn't listen. You know what I mean? And so what we do see, what we're gonna find out in just 2 seconds, is the difference between that Vashti chick and Esther. As that Vashti was, she was pretty as hell, but the king didn't want her because she was disobedient. He definitely wanted Esther because she was
Right.
obedient and pretty. So like it. We keep going.
Verse 2. And it was so when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight.
She did what?
Obtained favor in his sight.
Now, the beauty alone is not the reason why she obtained favor in this man's sight. That's not why she obtained the favor. Remember, we just read that she put on the beautiful apparel. She stood in the inner court and all of these things. She was probably smelling good, all of that. But that's not why she obtained the favor. You know why she obtained the favor of the king, even though he was supposed to put her to death? Her femininity. Because she wasn't a dragon like Vashti.
Right.
How we know the difference is because he separated from Vashti. Because Vashti was pretty as hell, but she didn't know how to act. Now, this is something that we can learn this. Esther is saving an entire race of people right now just by being feminine, just by being what she naturally is supposed to be. You understand?
Dang.
And the king is like, he's gawking at her like, damn, she's just so beautiful. And he's thinking in his mind like of the type of person that she is. Once again, Officer Abayak just said this and it was heavy. Vashti couldn't have did that.
No.
Barakia just said this. Vashti couldn't have did that.
Let me show you how serious it is, right? I ain't gonna play. I'm gonna show you how very serious it is. Take a man in his power. I know what he's thinking. She don't listen. She don't want to listen to the damn thing he's saying. She got an uncle. Her mother and father is already gone, right? We can say that they're dead, right? Because Esther's uncle is actually the one that's raising her.
Right.
That man is talking, that's her uncle. She don't like, imagine if Esther was like Vashti. Didn't want to listen to him. She was rebellious, all that. Be honest with you, and being a man, he might not want to touch her, but see how her brothers, cousins are her people, just to show her his power, he'd have put them all to death.
Yep.
He'd have put them absolute every last one of them to death, just to show her. Just to show her, I'm gonna put them all to death because you're a goddamn dragon. Rather, what he did was, with Esther, he didn't do that because Esther was meek.
Right.
Esther was humble. She listened. She did everything she was supposed to do. You know how hard that is, not to only be beautiful, but you meek as a
Right.
woman.
That's tough.
Esther gained a favor, right? Keep going for me out.
And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter.
Now this is backwards. Because you're not supposed to enter into the inner courts unless the king holds out that golden scepter. She came into the inner courts against the king's wishes, against the king's will, and then he saw how beautiful she was and how meek she was. He favored her, and she held out that. He held out that golden scepter. Right.
Not only was it just about beauty, once again, Esther gained that favor already. Mind you, Esther was already. She listened to him. She did what his first wife didn't do.
Right.
His first wife wanted to go against him. Esther was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn from her. Like, I ain't gonna do all that.
Right.
She a goddamn dragon. Like, I ain't gonna do that. But rather, I'm gonna listen to him. I'm gonna be meek. I'm gonna do everything I'm supposed to do. Esther did that. When she entered, he allowed her. You see what he did? He put the Vasher up. He's supposed to put her to death. But he tried to put it up and try to kind of like give her a pass.
I allowed this.
Yeah, I allowed this to happen. Nah,
Really?
nigga. You
Really?
have to put it up first, then have her come.
Right.
He didn't do that. Right? Keep going on.
And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. Then said the king unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther?
You know what the king said? He didn't say he ain't check her or nothing. He said,
What you want?
what do you need?
Whatever you want.
What do you need? What you need? I got you.
Whatever you want.
And once again, this is all because this woman has obtained the favor of a man who was austere enough to put nations to death. But this woman has obtained his favor in the sense that she has done the opposite of what Vashti did. Vashti was a dragon. Vashti is what we read about in the book of Ecclesiasticus. You understand? That was a woman that was absolutely, you'd rather dwell on the top of your house than deal with this woman.
Right.
You'd rather just sleep on the roof.
There's women like that.
Yeah.
You rather lose a slug.
Damn. Better get it in. You got it. You got it.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Man above me. That's watching this. You rather snatch your damn eyes out. You rather than deal with this woman. Like, she's a dragon.
So if I could, sir.
Go ahead.
Unfortunately, I've witnessed a sister that was such a harmful, physically violent, and
right now,
aggressive dragon to her man, baby, and everything. I like that. I've watched over time how she destroyed and emasculated him to the point where she would tell him to leave, he would run away, and she would attack him. I've seen her throw a river rock at this brother's head once and crack his skull open. And he never revisited the violence
and you know what's heavy about what you're saying is the fact that you just said he never came back. He's not dealing with that no more because there's a way to deal with a man. You know what this woman Esther did, which is we ain't even gotten to the meat of it yet. We got like 24 more minutes. We're gonna definitely get all of it. But this woman used her femininity, her womanhood to win this man over. Not like she ain't come to the inner court. Hey, nigga, you gotta do this, that. It wasn't none of that. She ain't do that. She came in her face. She was quiet. She understood it. This man loves me so much. I bet you he'll give me anything I want because I am what this man desires. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and she broke the law because of the love of her people.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
She couldn't even come in.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Without an appointment.
That brother's a priest. That's heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because she did break the law. Don't forget. She has to get permission to enter through that court. She should be dead. She should be put to death. Esther should be dead right now. But she's not dead because what? The works that she put in with that man. Right? The works that she put in with that king.
Right.
So that's the reason why she's not dead. Keep going from young. Let's try to get to it. That's what we want to go to.
Verse 3. Then the king said unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? It shall be given.
Go ahead. No, this is the heavy part. Go ahead.
He said whatever you want. You know what I'm saying?
It shall be given thee. Go ahead.
It shall be even given thee to the half of the kingdom.
Man, meaning this man is saying whatever you want, you can have. And she just broke the law that he established.
Right.
Listen, y'all women, I hope y'all understand.
She giving the game up.
She giving the game up. I'm telling y'all. Listen, if you want something from your man, all you got to do is just fulfill your role as a woman. Be feminine, and you can get whatever you want. The scriptures, once again, we just read that in the book of First Ezra. The woman is the strongest thing out. Excuse me, the strongest thing outside of the truth. Meaning, if it wasn't for the truth, women would just damn near rule the damn world. Right?
For
exactly.
that Bible, women will rule the world. Why?
Right.
Because every man
yields to a woman.
Like, come on, how will you not want to like, right? But
Barack guy, give Barack guy a hand, man. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. He said, "Accept me."
Hey,
he said, "Accept me." I understand.
That's my brother, though. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
But by the nature, it's by 9. You cool if you say 9 out of 10?
Yeah, that's
10%. That's cool. This nigga like,
yeah, why are you doing that? Don't do that.
Okay, he like, well,
cool.
accept me. Hey, I'll let you know. Take someone like me. I genuinely want to please you. I want to do what you want to do. But you have to be a woman that's worth it.
Right.
Like, who want to please a dragon? It makes no sense to please a dragon. Right? Why would you? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. But Esther, I'm telling you, a woman like Esther, she can get whatever she wants. Yeah, T.I. had a song, Whatever You Want, right? T.I. had a song. T.I. is cupcake. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were talking about a man of power, a man of rule the earth at one time. Esther could have got whatever that she wanted. She could say, I don't like them 5. You know what I mean? She was wicked. I don't like them 5 bras over there. Give me their head. And the king would have said, approved.
Got it.
Like, you gonna have it.
Right.
Proven, right? Don't forget.
Yeah,
Christ's cousin got his head taken like that. Right? John the Baptist. John the Baptist got his head chopped the hell off based off a woman saying, you know what? I want his head. And the husband said what? Okay. Like, yeah, you gonna give you his head. Like, the pen is mightier than the sword. Now, if you want to be a broad that you want to do what you want to do, that's fine. You can be whatever it is you want to be. America allow you to be whatever it is the hell you want to be. Right. So you go be that. Good luck to you.
Right.
Because I tell you, when you come against a man like me, look, good luck to you. Because you better be ready to fight, because you're gonna fight. Spiritually, you're gonna fight. But what I'm saying is, if you're like Esther, you're gonna get whatever the hell you want. Because Esther she's playing chess. She's not playing checkers.
Right.
You know, in retrospect, you know what Esther will call you women today? Dumb as hell. Like, she will call you dumb as hell. Y'all don't know what the hell y'all is. You can't even keep a man, much less. Let's keep it real. Like, yeah, y'all got the game. Like, you can't even keep a man. That's a damn insult. Like, wrong, right? You can't even. You mean you a woman? You know what women got, and you can't keep a man? That's a lot. You should be ashamed of yourself. Up to you. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Up to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep going for me, y'all.
Concert.
Verse 4.
And Esther answered.
So now, the king said, "What is it that you desire?" Right? Keep going.
If it seemed good unto the king.
If it's what she say?
If it seemed good unto the king.
Nigga, you better do this.
If it seemed good.
No.
Hey,
No.
So
That's
smooth. Hey, she's so smooth. Hey, it's okay.
Right, that's
like,
what I'm
I just wanted
Think about it.
Hey,
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. I would have worked on me though.
That's what I'm saying. And this is, listen.
Hey,
now what y'all gotta
I would've
understand
worked
about
on
Officer Apayak, this is the
Don't do
most.
that to me.
This is the most.
Front of-
See, look. It ain't
Don't
me.
even do that
Out
to
of the
me.
mouth of one or
That's a
two
lie.
witnesses,
That's
every
a lie.
fact is established.
I'm sweet. That's
It's
a
2
lie.
witnesses we established. Listen, this brother right here is the most austere man in Israel.
It's a lie.
But this
Don't
would have
listen.
worked on him. It's not, nigga, you did this, that. It's not nagging. It's not none of that. It's if it be what? Keep going, please.
If it seemed good unto the king.
If it's something that you're okay with. If it's okay with you.
Yeah.
Right? If it's okay with you, go ahead.
Let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him.
And she getting the
Dang.
listen. Hold on, wait 1 second. What's crazy about this is Haman is an Edomite that is against the Israelites. Against the listen. I want y'all to
Anybody know
understand
what
how
Edomites
bad.
are? Edomites are so-called white people today.
Right.
So-called white people have been trying to destroy black and Hispanic, trying to destroy Mexicans, black people, and Native American Indians since the beginning of time.
That's right.
I'll let y'all know right
That's
now.
right.
We are enemies from the womb.
Right.
The reason why we don't get along with them, we are enemies from the womb. We've been enemies.
And this
Right?
is 2,500 years ago.
Go ahead. Don't forget, he's
Yeah.
counseling a what? A so-called
Persian.
Persian, right? Keep going.
let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him.
We
Then
gotta
the-
go ahead. It's like
Verse 5. Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste.
to do what?
Make haste.
Hurry up, nigga. Like this
That's-
king was like, hey, he gonna come. Yes, whatever you want, sweetheart. Hey,
right.
Haman,
That's what I'm
bring
saying.
your ass, nigga. Like you gonna hurry up.
You gotta
Like,
keep on.
that's what he told him. Like
Right.
you gonna hurry up.
Right.
Keep going.
That he
That he may do as Esther hath said.
as who
He
I
may
said?
do as who?
As Esther hath said.
Ooh-wee.
Now, mind you, this is a prominent man he talking to like this.
Right.
He's a counselor, meaning he listened to everything he say. Well, he's saying, nah, Haman gonna do whatever the hell you tell him to do.
Right.
Why? Because it's me.
Right.
Like he gonna do whatever he tell him to do.
Right.
Keep
Damn.
going.
So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared.
Go ahead.
And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine,
Mhm.
What is thy petition?
What is your what do you want? Go ahead.
And it shall be granted thee.
Go ahead. Whatever you want, you can get it. Right. Keep going.
And what is thy request?
Mm-hmm.
Even to the half of the kingdom,
Even to the half of the kingdom. Go ahead.
it shall be performed.
It shall be before. Listen, this is just goes to show. Whatever you ask your husband, if you come in the right spirit, you could get it. If you come like a dragon, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Right? Keep going. You got it.
So lock it.
It's okay. I say you brothers and sisters, we all know the UPK, like children are gonna be children. It's okay. Saying it's yeah, let him sit. Yeah, let him sit. What's your name? What's the brother's name? Mason. Mason's your name? You gonna sit there, Mason? Yeah. Okay. Keep going up. Keep going.
So lock it. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, What is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. And
Good.
what is thy request? Even to the half of the kingdom it shall be performed.
Mm-hmm.
Then answered Esther and said, My petition and my request is, if I have found favor in the sight of the king.
If what?
If I have found favor in the sight of the king.
If
Yeah,
you
not-
love me, if you love me,
You really care.
if you really care, like if you're really gonna like,
Right.
hey,
Hey, ain't nothing new in the Bible. Ain't
hey,
nothing
give
new under the
Esther a
sun.
hand.
Damn right.
Hey,
The first recorded woman to say, "If you love me," so like it.
hey, what Esther did was
It
instead
did
of
work.
yeah, instead of going the other route, nigga, you better do what I. Well, how could you do that to my family? How could you do? I'd have been like,
I'm killing you and your family.
this is what I'm doing. Nah, I let her live. So watch it. You know what I'm saying? So like it.
Woo!
Take her
You're
cousin.
better than me.
Take her brother, like, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Like, we ain't finna do all that, you know what I'm saying? But the king, Esther was so, she knew what was at hand.
Right.
She knew what was at hand.
Right.
Esther did it so elegantly, beautiful, perfect. Esther said,
Definitely.
well, if I did everything I'm supposed to do, like, if you love me, if you really care about me, like, you would do this.
Right.
Nigga, like,
That's tough.
If you like me, can you
well,
do this?
yeah, I do like you.
That's a
Like, I do
loaded
love
question.
you. Like, yeah, like, I'm saying, yeah, like, every man know this. You could say whatever you want to say to your rib, but you go back and think about it, you're like, especially if she gained your favor, I'm telling you, like, I know. This is how you know if a man really love you.
Mm.
Right? This is how you really know if a man love you. Take something as small as, you see if Ian trusts you with even the smallest of information, business, whatever it is,
Mhm.
he come to you for everything. Like, what do you think? Hey, if he says this to you, nah, just do whatever you think is cool. Like, do whatever you think is right. It's a man that,
That's a high level of trust.
say it again.
That's a high level of trust.
That's a high level of trust. Your man come to you and say this. Nah, just do whatever you think it is. You think it's right. Well,
Yeah, that's
babe,
tough.
you know, we do this and we're thinking about this, but they call me about, hey, do whatever you think is right. It's up to you.
Mhm.
I have ribs. I tell her, like, do what you think is right. Do whatever you think is right. Because I trust that woman. I know she's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she have gained that. Like, you know what I'm saying? She know me. She know what I would and wouldn't like, and do whatever you think is right.
Mhm.
I ain't got to even hear nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Keep going up.
Verse 8. If I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do tomorrow as the king hath said.
Go ahead.
Keep going.
Verse 9. Then went Haman forth that day joyful, and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate,
when he saw who?
Mordecai in the king's gate,
Mordecai is the uncle or the father. She's playing once
Father
again.
figure.
Esther didn't have a father or mother, so Mordecai is raising her. So he's her uncle / father, right? So when he saw Mordecai, don't forget, Haman was the one he wants to kill the Israelites. When he saw Mordecai, right, the one that's protesting, leading the protest, right? Go ahead.
that he stood not up, nor moved for. Give me a second. That he stood not up, nor moved for him. He was full of indignation against Mordecai.
Because Mordecai did not yield to these Persians. He was not going to stand up. He was not going like that's like having when the general come in here, we're gonna say what? Allah upon Yah. We all gonna stand up and salute the general.
Right.
Imagine a nigga coming in here. We be talking about this sometimes. Imagine a nigga come in here and sit down, and then the general come in and we say Allah upon Yah. Everybody stand. This nigga, he's sitting back cool with the glasses on. Like I ain't standing up for no nigga. That's what Mordecai was. Mordecai saw Haman come in. He didn't stand up. He didn't yield to him. He didn't yield to the king. So Haman was what?
Yikes. Filled with indignation.
He was filled. Imagine if somebody didn't stand up when it's time to salute the general. We're gonna be filled. We're gonna watch him. Damn, they might just shoot him out the class. Right,
Shoot
quick.
him, nigga. Like drag it.
That's what I mean. What you mean?
Salaki.
No, we're gonna put.
Keep going,
We're gonna
keep going.
politely,
Yeah,
tell
keep
him,
going.
hey brother, you should leave. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Salaki.
Verse 10. Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself, and when he came home, he sent and called for his friends and Zeresh, his wife. And Haman told them of the glory of his riches and the multitude of his children.
Verse 12.
Verse 12. Haman said, moreover, yea, Esther, the queen, did let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared but myself. And tomorrow am I invited unto her also with the king. Yet all this availeth me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate.
So now we're gonna close it out in just a second. We're gonna wrap it up tomorrow. It's the second half of this, but I do want to make sure we get the full essence of this story. Let's give chapter 7 and verse 1. We're still talking about the same banquet.
Book of Esther, chapter 7, verse 1. So the king and Haman came to the banquet with Esther the queen.
So now the king and Haman came to this banquet. This is the same banquet that Esther had set up. She wanted, she wanted Haman and the king to come to this same banquet, right? Verse 3.
Verse 3. Then Esther the queen answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king,
keep going?
let my life be given me at my petition and my people at my request.
Which is what we just read 2 chapters ago. Keep going.
For we are sold,
We are what?
Sold.
Keep going.
I and my people.
And my people. This sister is not detaching herself from her people. She's not saying, oh yeah, the Israelites over there. No, she's not talking about. She's saying me and my people. We are sold, which is once again the Persians and the Medes had us in captivity. Everybody in this room. In a life before now, we have been underneath the Persians and the Medes, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, all of these people. All of us have gone under these same captivities. And this woman understand that because it was the time that she was living in. She said, no, me and my people, right, have been sold to the Persians and the Medes. Keep going.
Salakia.
Keep going.
Where I leave off, sir.
We're at 7 and verse 3.
Salakia, sir.
Verse 4,
7.
Salakia.
Verse 4. For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish.
That's what captivity is. Keep going.
But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage.
Keep going.
Then the king, Ahasuerus, answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he, and where is he, that durst presume in his heart to do so?
To do so, which is what we're talking about, to do this type of thing to our people. Keep going.
And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman.
So now what is she doing? What is she doing?
She's demonizing the demon.
She is coming up against Haman, but not You need to get rid of that Haman. No, she's not doing that. She is being very smooth. And this is listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all sisters. We're damn near giving you some game y'all really shouldn't have. To be honest with you. Because this
That's
is
what
the
I'm
way.
saying.
This is the way. He don't like Purim.
That's what.
So like,
don't do that.
I'm joking. So like it. But
Hey,
but this is go ahead, sir. So like it.
She making herself feel like delicate, like feel
Right.
I want protection.
Right.
Give
See,
it to me.
Esther
God
is
damn.
hey.
Crazy.
What's that warrior? It's a warrior princess, Xenon and the warrior princess. Who was talking about that?
She like
Who's
Judith.
that brother,
That's
right?
like-
Xenon and the warrior princess. Boy, she's doing to us. She's going about it a different way.
Right.
You ever heard of whoever heard the saying of the sister by the name of Griselda Blanco?
Mhm.
Anybody heard of Griselda Blanco? Griselda Blanco, right? She was a cocaine queen pin, right? What did she say about men? Men come one way, right? She said, with me, I come a little more subtle, sweet and nice, and I'm able to be them because I know men come. It's really giving it away, yo.
Yeah, no, but for
It's
sure,
really,
yeah.
I don't like, I like you, but I kind of don't. I love Esther though, Like,
She,
but
she
it's
get,
kind of
she get
like
a game up, man.
she really like, she's so smooth. It's hard like to deny her. You know what I mean? Like it's just what you want, Esther. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of, you know what I mean? Salakia, like it's hard to deny her. I was like, Salakia, sir. I'll be in council general, like, why did you do it? Like, Salakia, sir? Esther. She's Esther. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to like, But what I'm saying though is Esther was playing the game how it was meant to be played. But don't forget, look at it like this: if you're a woman, if it's a game of women getting what they want and a man, him being the leader and the ruler of his household, right?
Right.
As a woman, how you gain that favor? It's not you being masculine and trying to match that man, loud and aggressive. You never win like that as a woman. For what? You're not gonna win like that. Trust me when I tell you, you're not gonna win. Because here's what he's saying in his head: she's trying to challenge my authority.
Right.
She's trying to challenge me as a man.
Right.
But rather, if you come like how Esther come, well, if you love me, like if you really care about me, like if you like,
If you mess with me,
like if you really care about, like, you're gonna gain is favoritism. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna gain all that, but you have to put in the groundworks. You're gonna have to do everything that man. You're gonna have to be sweet. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to do like. Now, there's a lot of women out there. You might say, well, my nigga ain't a king. He ain't a king. He can't get me this. He can't.
God damn, that's tough.
What? I gotta go there, because
got to.
some sisters, you watching this, you might say that's true. They might say, well, he ain't no king. He can't get me this and this. True, if the nigga was a king, I'd be able to be as sweet as he want. In fact, I know how to be feminine for the right man. You ever heard that saying?
Oh man, I've heard that.
Salakia. I say this all the time. I said it in class, and I say it again. There's no such thing as being feminine for the right man. It's either you feminine or you're not.
Right.
You give an example. Just imagine a man saying, "I know how to be masculine for the right woman."
God damn.
You gay as hell. Like,
Tough.
you like pause. Like, oh my god. Like, what do you mean that you masculine for the right woman? That makes no sense. Like, right?
Gain to improving masculine.
Yeah, like proving masculine. Yeah, really and truly. Because you have to look at it like this, like, because it's either that's your nature. It's either you masculine or you're not. It's either you feminine or you're not. He's wild. Leave him alone. He good. You know what I'm saying? He good. Man, he's
like
like brother.
spice.
He likes some spice. He's fascinated. I like. That's
Yeah.
how I came into the truth. He what he is what every male like you come in. He's a young brother. He looking like, what is all this? Look at these niggas. Like, let him be like. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is. I'm watching him like. Yeah, that's say it again.
Out of hand.
That's masculine.
Damn
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. But what Esther did, rather, Esther came in, she played her role. She like, you know what? That's not my strength. My strength is being as feminine as possible, doing everything. I'm gonna cook clean for this nigga. Like, I'm finna like cooking the best food. I'm finna like nurture to him. I'm finna do all that. Because eventually over time, he gonna like, hold on. Esther do this and this and this and this for me. Why the hell this woman, like, his first wife, be like, is she a damn dragon? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all right. It's still masculine, man. Hey, y'all gave him something to drink?
Why
Like,
you do that?
Be careful. Don't give him nothing to drink, man.
It was the
You
spike
good.
Kool-Aid.
You
The
good.
punch. Like it.
You good, little brother. You good. You know what I'm saying? But what Esther did was she came feminine.
Right.
She did everything she was supposed to do. On
Right.
top of that, she did even extra. You know I'm saying she didn't argue with him, even when, mind you, surely the king is not perfect. I'm sure he did some shit that Esther was not okay with, right?
Right.
Did Esther switch who she was? Start treating him different? No. She said, I'm gonna be who I am because I know it's gonna win over. It's gonna win in the end. And sure enough, it won. Keep going up.
If I could, real quick, just to
Yeah.
touch on what you were saying. So,
Yeah.
just to recap, what we're talking about now is the fact that Esther is now using her femininity to get what she wants, and it's not a wicked thing. She's not trying to manipulate this man, but it's more of a sense of she understands how life works. And right now, she knows that this man, Haman, is going to put to death her entire family, which her family at this time is not 6 or 7 relatives, it's the entire nation of Israel. So she's saying, your man over there, Haman, he's trying to kill my family. And she's not doing it like in a barking way. She's not being a dragon about it. She's being very subtle with it. Keep going.
Don't forget, before you go, Haman is not the king.
Right.
Right? Haman has the ear of the king.
Mm-hmm.
Esther's fighting for his place, the ear of the king.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why it's important to have the ear of the king is, look at it like this. Like let's think worldly, right? Having the ear of the king, meaning on paper, the king would do this, this, and this. On paper, history will remember him. But Esther is the one that was pulling all the strings. The person that's in the ear of the king, they're pulling all the strings.
Right.
They're the one that's giving the orders. I'm saying, keep going up.
Sir. And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman.
So now she's convincing this king, whose right-hand man is Haman. She's like, nah, this is the real enemy here because he's trying to kill my people. Keep going.
Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen.
Go ahead.
Haman was what?
Haman is hanged upon the gallows he built for Mordecai.
He was what?
Hanged.
He was what?
Hanged.
He was what?
Hanged.
Say it again.
Damn right. Get out of here.
You know what I'm saying?
He got the spirit. He got the spirit on him.
Told you that's masculine. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who this brother is, but I like him. You know what I'm saying that he getting it. I'm saying Haman was hanged, meaning what? Don't forget, he had the king's ear for years. Don't forget, the king gained his power based on Haman being on his side.
Right.
You mean to tell me he's going to put his right-hand man to death for this woman?
On the same gallows that he was supposed to hang Mordecai.
On the same, exactly. On the same gallows, meaning on the same gallows he was supposed to hang Mordecai, the same gallows he made to kill the Israelites, she ended up flipping up on his own head. And
put him into his own trap.
If that ain't power, if you women, I tell you, I get that power. So like, give me that power any day. You women, some other power, some masculine power, good luck to you. Like that power that Haman, that power that Esther have, that's true power. That's the power of the pen rather than the sword. Going out and do the hard work and killing and all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas Esther had the power of the pen.
Yeah. Read that. I just want you to read that one more time. Baba Kashar, if you don't mind.
Haman is hanged upon the gallows he built for Mordecai.
You know what's funny is that Mordecai was a righteous man that all he did was tell his assumed daughter, meaning like his stepdaughter, whatever you want to call it. He told her, listen, you're going to fight for your people. But women don't have to fight the same way that a man has to fight. A man has to pick up sword and fight. Like that's what we do. That's why we go to camp and y'all don't go to camp. It's just we have that warrior spirit just like y'all have it, but it's physical. Right. Y'all have a spiritual warrior sense about y'all. And I think we have to get back into this, like this gender role thing. There are gender roles. Yeah. A man is going to be the one that goes out and fights physically. You're going to fight spiritually for this man. You're going to be, listen, the scriptures say this. It's not good for a man to be alone. I'm going to do what? Make him what?
Help me.
Make him and help me. It's extremely important. Like, you got to understand, a woman's role is just as important as a man's role.
Right.
Women are just as important as men.
Right.
I would be a homosexual if I said that, yeah, we just need men. Damn that. I'd be like, y'all probably look at me a little funny. You know what I'm saying? No, we need women. And the scriptures say that. So the problem is just now in 2023, the roles are like all jumbled and nobody knows what they're supposed to be doing. Men think that they're supposed to be doing women's jobs. Women think that they're supposed to be doing men's jobs. It's kind of all jumbled up. This is like the perfect proof of a woman could be a warrior too. And this woman, Esther, was a warrior. She got, what does she want out of this whole thing? She wanted her people to be saved, right? And she wanted Haman to be hanged. How did she get it? By hanging him herself?
Wow.
Or did she get her husband, the man that, even though this man was a heathen, she got her husband, the man that was over her, to do it. Not by, I order you to do this. I'm telling you, you have to do this. No, with her femininity, she was able to control what was going on. She was a warrior. And she saved her people. And I think it was Officer Apayak that was talking about it a little bit earlier. Damn near a fake Israelite might be like, we said a woman saved Israel. It ain't about a woman saving Israel. It's about the fact that the Most High used this woman to use her femininity to tell this king, hey, this is how you got to handle this situation. And guess what? We're here today because that, if y'all know anything about the Babylonian captivity and the Persian and the Medes, we was jammed up. We was nigh to falling off as a kingdom. This sister, because she listened to Mordecai, her spiritual father, she was able to save the children of Israel. And that's something that's heavy. And the sister can have that. Like when you go into Abigail. Abigail was a sister. If you go back into the book of Second Chronicles, she was a sister that was married to a man named Nabal. Yeah, right. You know where I'm going with this. Her husband was a goddamn idiot. Sometimes a sister gonna get jammed up and be with an idiot. It's gonna happen. Just like this sister got stuck with a heathen, Abigail was stuck with an idiot. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you sisters make terrible choices in husbands.
When you said
What?
Nah.
Who got to sign me up? Y'all want to say something like it. But point being is, Abigail got stuck with an idiot. She rode it out with that brother. And when that brother made a terrible decision, she, you know what I mean? She
went
did
against it.
She
Right.
And it wasn't like she
did
you
it so-
stupid idiot. No, she went behind the scenes. She said, let me fix my husband's mistake. Like these are the type of women in
give
Israel.
that a hand.
Yeah, damn
That's
right.
a perfect example right there. Hey, Abigail,
She was cold.
she was
Yeah.
so cold. She not Esther, Lucky.
She not,
But-
all right,
No, I don't
go
want
ahead.
to. Esther,
I know
we
they
celebrate
separate.
Esther
They
today.
I know.
Like, we can't like.
Damn, we about to
gotta
take the
give
whole,
Esther that respect.
We
You know
about
what I'm
to
saying?
take the whole high
But she
holy
not-
day or the holy day to Abigail. No.
No, Abigail was.
But she was cold though.
Put like
definitely.
this: there was
Yeah.
numerous sisters in the Bible that was cold as hell. We don't put them all like
Judith,
that.
for example.
Oh my God! Right? Like
She cut a
that
man's
sister-
head off. I mean, y'all listen.
You know a story. We gonna
like
bring that probably tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow we
We'll
gotta
go
go
to
over
her.
it again, too.
You'll go to her tomorrow.
Yeah.
That sister, man. Let's just say this: she put on her femininity, beautiful
Damn.
apparel.
She was able to
She went
infiltrate.
in
That's crazy.
went in amongst them.
Cold
That
sister?
nigga was
cold sister.
She was
Cold.
when he didn't sleep. I mean, she did her thing
Yeah.
and came
Now,
back
now,
and
now none
she-
of y'all sisters do that to us.
She
we're not giving y'all. Listen, this is not no tips and
But
tricks class
here's what
to
she
kill
did.
us.
Here's
Salaki.
what make her great.
Salaki.
She did it for her nation.
Right.
Don't forget that was a heathen. She did it to.
Yeah. Right.
That was a heathen. She did it for her nation. She came back and rejuvenated over 1 million. I can't count the sound to see men that rise to their feet when they seen that. And she lit a fire on all the men, and they went out and
Damn right.
did
Got
what
it
they
in.
needed to do
Damn
based
right.
off what this woman did.
Off of this one woman.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
epic.
Maybe we should be talking about her too.
Oh.
Yes.
Give her a hand.
I'm saying, what I'm saying is that there's numerous sisters that did their thing. Don't think like there's sisters that didn't do their thing in here.
Right.
I'm saying there's numerous sisters that did their thing. All we're saying is each and every one of those sisters had one thing in common. They all did it in their femininity.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong or right? Huh?
Damn right. Mm-hmm.
They all did it. They didn't do it in the sense like our white women is today. This independent and strong women. And what's that picture of the white woman? She started laughing. Like she said,
You understand?
Yeah, she know. I know.
Yeah,
she know.
damn
You know what
right.
I'm saying she married to a mighty man. My guy. You know what
Damn
I'm
right.
saying?
Damn right.
My brother. You know what I'm saying?
Got a hand.
Who I love.
Damn
I'm
right.
saying Officer Shabal. I'm saying, but who was that white woman that had the fist?
Damn.
She is. White woman is a bitch. She is. Black woman is not a bitch, but white woman only when a black woman act like one. I'm saying black or Hispanic woman act like one. She a bitch. But like other than that,
Yeah.
what's that?
It's the
Like that picture was during World War II.
Yeah.
Make women, since all women were away at war,
Yeah.
that picture so women can be strong enough to go work in a
To go,
factory.
yeah, to go work in the factory. They really finessed y'all in all retrospect. Women shouldn't be going to war. You want to go to war? Both sides be with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? War is dirty. It's hell. But
No place for
nonetheless,
women.
they paint women as that. And
It's Rosie Rivet.
good.
Who?
I think is that her name?
I know what you're talking about. I don't think that's what he's talking about.
It's Rosie. It's Rosie the Riveter
Yeah.
on this picture.
Is
You
it?
talking about the woman with the
You know,
bandana
like
backwards?
she's like the epitome of like a strong,
I
independent.
know what you're talking about. That's I
like-
think that's what he said. Yeah,
Who said?
yeah. I think
Raphael?
that's what Kasar Scott. Rose B. Anthony.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was a character. It's not a
nonetheless,
It's not a
same
real
thing.
person,
Yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, go, that's what he was saying.
Right here, Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah, like
Rosie
yeah,
B.
the
Anthony
muscle,
was
like they they use that to trick you women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of these women didn't come like that. They didn't come with the fists up and strong, and that's a white woman thing. The white woman is that. I'm saying because a white man and a white woman was fighting for power ever since they took over us. They've been fighting for power because he can't control us. You understand? White women don't know where her strength begins nor ends.
Right.
Like where she's going is the end of her power. You know what I'm saying? But today they paint it as white women be the most feminine and beautiful. Like that's not even their nature. White woman is taking your place. She learned from you in the past history. You see how the Italians are, like the movie The Godfather. You see how beautiful and elegant many of those sisters was and all that. They paint themselves as to be like they was that. They not that. White woman is rebellious by nature. That's not your place. Hispanic woman, Native American woman, Black woman. That's not your place. You was a sister like that. You ever heard the story where, or the movies where you see every step a woman take, they threw flowers at her feet.
Mm-hmm.
You were that. You were so delicate and sweet. That was power. You grab the attention when you come in the room. That is you, not this masculine white woman.
Right.
Look at the white woman. You want to follow her? She built like an 11-year-old boy by nature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying they just barely starts doing some workouts and squatting now to get a little behind Salaki. You know what I'm saying? The general will be saying. You know what I'm saying? Like they barely developed that now, but by nature, that's not their nature. They're masculine by nature. You see how they look? White women age like a banana.
God,
Salaki, like my rib bought a banana today. I get that shit like 10 more hours before that shit starts to like. You know what I'm saying like 10 more hours. What time is it right now? It's 8:40. 10 more hours like before that shit like start dying off. Like that's the white woman.
Right.
But Black and Hispanic and Native American women, that's not you. Like you want to be more. You're gonna live long. You want to be more elegant than that, man.
Right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's get Esther. We're gonna close out. So let me get
Yeah,
Esther 9, and then let's get verse 20. So now I know we got some gaps. Tomorrow we doing this thing again. That's more food for y'all, all of that. But we're gonna it's a 2-day feast. We about to read about why it's a 2-day feast in just a second, but we'll get more in detail. There's also in the book of additions to Esther, which is found in the Apocrypha, which is not in your regular Bible. You'll find this in the Apocrypha. We're going to go over that tomorrow, which goes into some of the prayers that Esther, like it's going to kind of get more in detail as to what Esther was thinking when these things was happening. Right. Because right now we're just talking about the surface. So the way I like to teach these classes is when it comes to Esther, today we talking about the surface. This is just what we know happened from historical records, things like that. Tomorrow, we're going to go into the history, and not only the history, but the inner workings of what was Esther thinking about when she was making these decisions. There's prayers that we find out in the Bible that she's like going through it, right. But she's a soldier, and we're going to find out how a woman should be a soldier. But let's find out why we celebrate this day today. We're going to find out who declared this day to be a civil day that we celebrate throughout our generations, right? So now let's give verse Esther 9 and verse 20. Yep.
The book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far.
This is after we have defeated the people that literally was trying to get us out of here. Haman was trying to get every Black, Hispanic, and Native American murdered, put to death. This woman defeated that because of her femininity and her ability to deal with this king in such a crafty way that man had no. couldn't do nothing but say, yeah, whatever you want, right? Keep going.
Verse 21, establish this among them
Mhm.
that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar
Mhm.
and the 15th day of the same yearly.
So now the 14th day of the month of Adar, which is this month. All right, we don't go by the Gregorian calendar, which is April, May, June, July. We don't go by that.
Yeah.
We go by that Hebrew calendar, which is what we're doing today. So today is not the 14th month. The 14th day. It's the 5th day of March. But according to the Hebrew, this is the 14th day of the month of Adar.
Mhm.
And that's what we're celebrating today. And what?
And the 15th day of the same.
Of the same. So meaning we're
Right.
going to celebrate this civil day. It's not a high holy day like the Sabbath or like the Feast of Trumpets or anything like that. This is a civil day. It's a declaration that Mordecai made that we still go with today. We still deal with this same civil day, which is today and tomorrow.
Let me show you how strong that is.
Mhm.
It's kind of like this. They kind of like, you ever saying like, nah, we're gonna add this on to it. Meaning we was keeping these certain high holidays, but we're gonna add this on. What Esther did, they're like, ain't no denying her. What she did is no denying her. She has to be an example for every woman out there. And we're gonna keep this day.
Right.
I'm saying what Esther did was so beautiful, man. That's why every single year we're gonna fight to make sure we keep this day. You know what I'm saying, we keep this day and teach this class and teach Esther's story every single year. Give a damn what they say.
That's right.
I'm saying, keep going up.
Verse 20.
Read the end of 18.
Okay. Verse 18 and 18. And on the 15th day of the same, they rested
Mhm.
and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
That's why y'all probably waiting for me to get done with this because we got a lot of food back there that's ready to be eaten. All right. And that's what today is about. We're going to feast and we're going to be glad. You understand? But once again, this is all about the righteousness of a woman that did what her father told her to do, which is damn near, that's what the Bible is about. Following a man to do what the Most High told you to do. We've done, that's why we're here right now. We're here right now because we have followed a man that's above us to do what the Most High commanded us. That's what Isaiah did. Isaiah had to follow a man. Everybody that was underneath Moses had to follow a man, and they followed Moses into the kingdom. Moses didn't even get the kingdom, but they followed Moses to get to that kingdom and got into that kingdom. So that's what we're doing right now. You understand? We're following the men that are above us to get this kingdom that's to come. This is, once again, we're talking about the book of Esther. This is talking about a woman that has her own book in the Bible because she was willing to follow orders. Keep going.
Verse 19. Therefore, the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and of sending portions one to another.
Go ahead, you got it.
And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far.
So now he writes this letter. This is an order to keep this feast day. This is not just talking about some sort of feast day. Some people don't believe that we should be keeping this feast day because it's some sort of, made up feast day. No, Mordecai wrote a letter that went into all different provinces to say, look, this is a day that we're going to keep because of what we just read about, right? Keep going.
Verse 21, to establish this among them that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar and the 15th day of the same yearly. As the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies.
From their who?
Enemies.
When we rested from our enemies. This day is about the fact that we were able to rest from our enemies. There was a nation of people, just like what we're doing today. There's a nation of people that came up against us that wanted us dead. They don't want to see none of us in this room. They don't want to see that young boy right there touch them spikes and be like, that's masculine. They don't want to see that.
Right.
They want to see him in a dress. That's what they want to see.
Right.
That's what they want. But he looking at them spikes. He said, damn, that's hardcore. I want to be hardcore like that man right there. This nation does not want to see that. Zaya Wade is proof of that. Well, Mordecai wanted it to be known that we had rest from our enemies when this woman did what she did.
Right.
She made a sacrifice. She could have been just a evil broad that just was, had a heathen as a husband, and just like so many women do. She decided that she wasn't going to do that. She was going to serve the Most High, and she was going to be somebody that stood against evil, stood against what everybody wanted her to be. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody
Right.
wants to be on top. She decided that was not more important than serving her God. And that's something that we should take away from this lesson. We should take away from this lesson the fact that the Most High doesn't give a damn about how rich and wealthy you could be not serving him.
Right.
Because you could be rich being a dope addict.
Right.
Your father could allow you to be on the corner selling dope. But guess what? Your father's not going to allow you to come back into your house, back into his house.
Right.
You understand? Your father wants you to do what he said. Stay away from the kids on the block.
Right.
You understand? Do what I told you to do. And you can be prosperous that way. We don't need to go to the other nations to be prosperous. And Esther understood that. So with that, I'm going to yield to you, sir. You
I
got
say this. Speaking of sacrifice, I'm saying we just lost priest and we just lost Arya. You know what I'm saying, if anybody know who Arya is, you go on the 7 heads for the school. I'm saying usually I'm saying when brothers pass and gone, I don't like to really comment on. I'm saying like every brother that has passed, I hold it really here. I'm saying now I never know Arya. He's one of the 7 heads of the school, right? I never know Arya, right? Just like I don't think any brother in here know of Arya, right? But we know of him really because of the men that we hold, you know what I'm saying, and a high speak how they speak of him. Maybe the captains, the generals in particular, right? The generals speak of him, right? I saw a video of a brother, he bad-mouthing Arya.
Ooh-wee.
You know what I'm saying? So you haven't seen that?
Oh, yeah.
No. I spoke on a brother bad-mouthing Arya. Arya was how old? How old was he when he died?
90
He was 80. He was 85.
85? 85-year-old old man that who they're upset at because of the 2000 prophecy, right? That didn't come true. You know what? Salaki, you know what killed me about? I'm saying a lot of black and Hispanics up. That 2000 prophecy came to pass, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
Am I wrong or right?
That's right.
Who came into the truth before the year 2000? I don't think ain't nobody in here that old.
2 people, that's Commander General Yohana and General,
Right? That's it.
I'm sure.
I mean, look at but see, here's the difference between UPK and everybody else. See, yes, you could say whatever. Yes, he dropped. You dropped this. Yes, he went off. Whatever it may be, but we remember Arya for who he was.
That's right.
We look at it like take it like this. I got a father, right? Right. My father today, like we just really recently started talking again. I'm saying, you ever heard me say anything bad about my father?
Absolutely not.
You been knowing me for like growing up. Where's the Matazai at? Matazai left? That nigga been knowing like ain't nobody hear me say it. My rib, I'm saying right there. I've been, you know what I'm saying, I ain't hear me say nothing bad about my father. Nope. Here's what people don't understand. Like, you see, at the end of the day, how you carry yourself show a perfect example of your father. Huh?
That's right.
Like, how can it not? You mean to tell me a person that look at all the good that's in you? Where do you think they got that from? You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your father, wasn't for your mother, right? You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. Like, I heard Captain Tazariak speak on this, and he speak on how if you had nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. You know, this shows me how a lot of brothers are, and this is the reason why it's so hard for us to come together. They want to have this unity camp. That's why I thank the Most High, man. I thank the Most High for Commander General Yohana. I'm saying all the generals and captains and the men that's over me. The reason being, because I know they'll never subscribe to that bullshit up. Salaki, they'll never subscribe to that. But you hear ISUPK, you mean you want us to join hand to hand with a man that talk bad about Arya? Arya is the reason why we have the 12 tribe charts, right?
That's right.
Why not throw that away? Yeah. Think about that. Why not throw that away? Huh? If he's so bad as you say, you should throw away the 12 tribe charts. It should not even exist to you. It shouldn't exist to you. But you want to keep the 12 tribe charts what he teach, and you want to still bad mouth the old man. You know all the hell that man probably went through? Huh?
Right.
What was this, 85? 85 years old. I can't even dream of living that long. Huh? 85 years old. Yes, surely he did some things that was not pleasant. Yes. But you mean to tell me that before you talk about the good things that he done, you quickly talk about the bad things that he done. Right? That show what type of son you truly is.
Right.
And that's the reason why we say here in the ISUPK, we're not affiliated with any other Israelite group.
That's right.
That's right.
And I say this with the utmost disrespect. If Commander General Yohana give the order to fall upon you tomorrow, believe me, I'll drop everything I'm doing.
Damn
You know
right.
what I'm saying? I'm talking about sleepless
right.
nights. I'm talking about being obsessed
That's
with
right.
watching you every single day. You know what I'm saying? To move on you. I mean that with the utmost.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying, because hearing how you brothers, I seen how a lot of y'all react and see how a lot of y'all move. And truthfully, it don't even break my heart, to be honest with you. It's just all it shows me every single day is ISUPK is the home of the truth.
That's
and we
right.
don't affiliate with anybody else.
That's right.
Get me right in this, bro. Rock, y'all. I'm not wrong or right.
You did right, sir.
Like I truly, like, to me, I find it to be disgusting. An 85-year-old man died, and before his body's even in the dirt, they all celebrating. Yeah, F that nigga, he this, he that, he whoop. I'm like, what type of this nigga he's the head of the what we all represent.
Celebrating the black man's death is nuts.
That's crazy.
Like, what is this, Chicago?
Right.
Like these niggas living a false life that
Yeah.
death is not something that you like. A lot of people sitting back like laughing and enjoying, like you don't even know him. Be honest with you, you don't even know him. But you mean to tell me that the foundation of where we all come from, you mean to tell me he dies instead of you looking at it as like, you know what? I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. That's the reason why I respect the UPK. When I first came into the school, I'll tell you, I tried it. I proved these. I tried everything. I sit back and watch these black and Hispanic men in this school. I never forget my first Passover. I'm in the Bronx. I will never forget. The first day, I told myself, my River can vouch for this. I'm saying I bought a ticket. She bought me the ticket. I'm saying I got on that plane and flew to the Bronx, and I had my first Passover. I sit back and I said, I'm really gonna watch these niggas and see if they're really about what they say.
Mm-hmm.
And these niggas prove to be what they about what they say.
That's right.
And the fact that everybody hate these one niggas make me love them even more. Show me that they the home of the truth.
Damn right.
You mean to tell me the foundation of what we all believe in, he dies and y'all all bash him?
Right.
You know all the hell that man probably went through?
Right.
I would never did half the things, a quarter of the things that he did, I would never did. Because of what he did, make it easier for my life. What hope Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans have? You tell me. I would love to understand. What hope do we have? We have the highest suicidal rate. We all want to kill each other. Let's call it what it is. We all want to either kill each other or kill ourselves. Come on, am I wrong, huh?
That's not wrong.
We all want to kill ourselves because our life is absolute hell. So you mean to tell me a man that came through and gave us hope, gave us the same truth, like what we speaking today, said there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You mean to tell me when he died, you celebrate and you laugh and joke? That's why I thank the Most High for Commander Jordan Yohana. I'm telling you.
That's right.
I'm telling you. I ain't saying I'm the biggest and baddest man of faith here, but I'm telling you, the order has been given. I'm telling you, I'm laying on you I'm obsessed. It's gonna become you absolutely lucky. And I never understood it. They come on the internet and talk so reckless, as if there's not repercussions for what we say.
That's right.
America paints itself as to be the home of the truth, the brave, and all that stuff. Personally, I don't know. I don't see nothing brave about America.
Right.
But America is no different than anywhere else. In Iraq and Iran, if you do something wrong, they chop your hand off. If you steal something, they chop your hand off. In Mexico, they're doing this. Cartel is doing the same thing. Here in America, they imprison you because why? They want to make money off you. They understand if they get you in the system to make money off you. So it's a game to begin with. I only say that to say, like, you live in a place where it's absolute hell and there's no love anywhere. But a man that brought love to us and gave us a light at the end of the tunnel, saying, you know what, the Mexicans, you're an Israelite. You're an Israelite. You see all of the pyramids of the Aztecs and the Mayans and all them built? The same pyramid, the way they structured the same is no different than one that's in Egypt. How is that possible that the same pyramids that's in Egypt is now was in Mexico and all these places here in North America? because the Mexicans are Israelites.
That's right.
It's not that hard to like the Mexicans. You see the Native Americans wear all the garments and all. Like you see all the clothes that they all that fringes on it. That's an Israelite custom.
That's right.
Quote unquote a gang sign today. So the fact that an old man died that brought us light at the end of the tunnel, and you went in and start bashing them up.
Right.
That's showing that me and you can't be on one accord. There will never be no unity camp. There will never be none of that.
That's right.
I'm gonna let you know, ain't gonna be no unity camp. There's not gonna be no unity camp.
Right.
How can there be any unity camp when we stand saying that, yo, man, we're not even talking about put whatever he did to the side.
Right.
Look at all the works that he done.
That's right.
The reason why we're alive today is because of him. Right. Take your father, for instance. Which of us can say that we had a good father?
That's one out of few.
Right? 1, 2. Get his brother a hand.
That's him.
You know what I'm saying? That's his son. Give him a hand. 3 out of the many people that's in here that's willing to say that we had a good father. But now, not to mention, 3 out of the few that's in here, meaning this man, ISUPK will be a representation of Arya.
Right.
What do we mean by we'll be a representation? Everything that we've done. Yes, he went off. Yes, he did some wrong things. ISUPK and what he created here, us in ISUPK, we be a beacon. We'll be, like the general said, we'll be a beacon for the Most High to let this man in the kingdom of heaven. We be that beacon because what he created. He created us. You got to be that beacon for your mother and father to bring them into the kingdom of heaven. Who are you to sit there and bash this man? He died an 85-year-old man. He's on his deathbed. You make fun of him. You clown him when he died, and then you want to sit down and want me and you to come together.
And say F-R-E-I.
And said F-R-E-I. I tell you this. They said the kingdom of Israel broke on the war the first time. It'll be another war again.
Right.
I would never come together with you. I don't give a damn what tribe you with.
Right. Damn right.
How can that be, Ak?
Can't be.
I could say if you're going to say fuck F-R-E-I because he went off at an old age,
Right.
you have to throw the whole Bible away. Because I mean, men in the Bible went off at an old
Solomon.
age.
Solomon went off in an old age.
They love John the Baptist.
Right?
They love
King
John the
David.
Baptist.
They
fight us.
They loved John the Baptist.
Man.
John the Baptist went off in an old age. Man, shame on you, man. This old man is on the deathbed and you laugh and joke and make fun of him. And then you said ISUPK, man, these niggas ain't this and that. No, ISUPK is righteous. All it takes for Commander General Yohana to say, what? Go get him. Tell you, like, these niggas in here, all they want to be in Commander General Yohana. They think niggas will be. Put my wife, children to the side. I will be speeding on that expressway to come and get you. To sleep, to stand on you for 2-3 days, hiding in bushes to wait till you come.
That's right.
Am I wrong or right? Huh?
That's right.
We learned that in King David, right? When King Saul wanted to kill King David. King David, when that Edomite, was it Edomite, right? Edomite came and said, hey, King Saul is dead. He came and brought the news to King David. He thought he was doing a righteous thing.
Right.
So, well, surely, King Saul wants you dead, King David. He an enemy of yours. He came to him.
That's deep.
He came to him to say what? Hey, we got King Saul. He dead. He gone. King David looked at him like,
He thought David would be happy.
he thought David would be happy. He looked at him like, who are you to touch King Saul, God's anointed? King David, he wouldn't be here. Like King Saul, what he learned in King Saul a lot, he learned what he learned from King Saul. He's like, damn, man, I learned when this man was righteous, he raised me. So he put that Edomite to death.
Yep.
I say shame on y'all, man. Like that shit. When I heard that shit, it hurt me because I know like. He knows that these are for the Most High. Most actually the truth. Then drop the Bible. You got something you want to say out?
Nah,
We're gonna close it out. You know what I'm saying? With that, we pass the class to Pastor Brachial. You got the preaching officer Brachial. You got it? Should be over there. You go over there.
Should be in a folder.
Oh yeah, we passed it to this brother Salaki.
We ain't been from the security officers.
You ain't been able to find him?
Just if you went to camp last time, the former.
Oh no, so he put it back. No, so he closed it out.
Men of Israel, Majum.
Give it. Let him do it.
Go ahead, call it. Men of Israel, Majum. Majum Shabbat. Majum. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Shabbat Thumb.
And courtesy to the sisters. Sisters, Majum. Please stand.
Stand. Zai, stand. Stand up.
Men of Israel, Majum. That's right. That's all. Turn face sisters. Men of Israel, Majum. Majum Shabbat. Majum. Barak.
Yahweh Shemar Thumb Hashem Yahushai.
Yahweh Service dismissed.
Take about a month.
Yes, sir.
You can end it out. End it out.